up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Flagrant 2 podcast. Analysis by assholes, no easy buckets, water cooler commentary for your sports needs. We got Akaash back.
Yeah.
We welcomed Akaash
back from the West
with a video from his favorite artist, Drake. We watched the guys playing video.
The eternal skeptist, Akaash is.
Yeah, Akaash doesn't like Drake. I got to say, before we get into your feelings about the video, there are two things I learned from that video. One, Drake is an incredibly likable guy. And two, Floridians got horrible teeth.
You know, Floridians don't
donated
need
some
fluoride.
fucking teeth.
There's a lot of things that Floridians
brushes.
Fluoride for Floridians. Let's start that program.
Breast. Real talk, man. They need some shit out there.
Oh, my gosh.
Why you hate Drake, man?
I just committed to it, and now I'm not going to let go. That's really all it's come down to at this point.
I respect the stubbornness about it, because that's
I
a
do.
really hard thing to dislike. After watching that video,
He's genius.
and it's like...
Brilliant. It's
even
a
the
fucking
haters
brilliant
are just
video.
like, come on.
He's one of the all-time greats. He might have a case for the greatest, even though no
He
one's
has a
going to want to
case.
admit it now.
Yeah.
He has a case. I mean, we don't want to talk about it now just because, you know, it's happened kind of fast.
I just agree with Charlemagne's take before he got watered down, and it is that he a little corny. And I just don't like my rappers like that. He's cooler than me.
You said you just agree with
Yeah.
not you disagree
No,
with.
I
okay.
agree with Charlemagne's take of like he's a gifted dude in general.
Yeah.
He's just a little corny, and I just don't like my rappers with a hint of corny. I've said this before. He's a Steph Curry of rap.
Yeah.
He's incredible. You can't deny the talent. It's just not my type of player.
I don't know. I
want
always...
to play like Russ. I want to play like Kyrie. I don't want to play like
DMX.
Steph. There's one thing I'll say about the video. I wish we could have watched it live, but there's streaming rights and all that kind of shit. He's genius in his marketing.
Fucking
Every
so
other
good.
rapper is throwing money in the video. Every other rapper
At
is
strippers.
showcasing money at this, or at strippers, or buying shit for themselves.
Yep.
It's so selfish, right? Everything is about me when you're a rapper. Look at all this money I got. And now he makes all those other rappers look corny. He effectively did.
That's the most ball in this shit you could really do.
Is
actually.
give away.
Give it away.
So what he effectively did, I think, what Jay-Z was trying to do. Remember when Jay-Z was like, put the money on your ear, that we don't call that money over here.
Yeah.
And then rappers
You're
were
right.
like, yeah, that's cool. Hey, check out this money on my ear, you old fuck.
You know what it is, man?
But this shit right here makes you want to give away some fucking money.
It makes it seem cool. It's like we're not going to the strip clubs no more. We're going to UNICEF. We're going to Red Cross.
Make these hoes struggle for this money, yo. Make them lose some teeth.
We are fucking taking our shit to the charity.
Instead of giving money to the strippers, why don't you throw it at their kids?
Exactly. And their
That's what he
moms.
did.
That's what they're stripping for anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
might
brilliant.
as well.
My one thing is I need some research on like the situations these folks are in before receiving the money.
I mean,
You
you
know how,
can't.
like-
I mean, you could. I don't want to say it.
I'm saying
but,
Will
like,
Smith, that movie where he was giving up a little piece of his body to everybody.
Yeah.
What's that shit
7
called?
pounds or whatever. 7 pounds? I think 7 pounds.
7
Yeah.
pounds. It was
Yeah.
some unit of measurement. Basically, he did the research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did the due diligence. He got the backstory. He's like, I'm not about to give my kidney to some guy who's a
It
jerk.
did seem a
I'm gonna
little-
give my eyeballs. Remember the scene with the blind dude? Remember he was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my eyeballs to a motherfucker. You about to see pussy for the first time in years. I gotta make sure you really the sweetest guy ever. You know, this one
you
he
gotta
just
be worthy.
yeah.
It does. I mean,
He's
like
looking
I'm
around
not.
for
I'm not trying to
gaps.
make it seem like it's a it's a bad thing what he did or whatever. But it does kind of make you how he settled on these people to give money
So
to.
the
like,
that's all I'm saying.
so the first
Yeah,
mother
like-
son is just a kid who seems like he's an athlete. Like he's got the tracksuit on,
Right.
young kid.
He's black.
Yeah, he's
I
black.
think that's what you meant to say.
Yeah.
Seems like an athlete. He's
To be honest, a white kid dressed like that, I would think was an athlete, just not as good. So if we're
Not as
being
fast
real,
or-
if we're keeping it 1,000 over here. But he just gave them like 4 stacks,
Yeah.
and then a little girl in a wheelchair, and his mom gets like half a stack. Here you go.
yeah.
It seemed like the wheelchair kid needed the stack a little
But
bit
you can't
more.
say that
But what
without
are you gonna-
hating
Exactly.
it tremendously. So I didn't, you just got to be like,
Yeah.
you know what, it's a beautiful video.
Not a lot of ethnic diversity in the giving.
Whole lot.
I mean,
lot,
Indians
yeah.
don't
Not a
really
lot.
need, so.
I didn't see any poor Latinos.
Well, I mean,
I
they're
didn't
on
see
the.
any
They're,
poor
Give money to Miami
whites.
schools. Who you think that was going to?
it looks
Oh,
like
that's
they're
true.
looks
That's
like
true.
they're on Miami Beach or down in like
Yeah, definitely
in
no white
downtown
people there,
Miami.
huh?
Yeah, there's
Down in
not a lot of
Miami?
white folks there. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like
Who
if
lives
it-
in those tall buildings?
the
guess they're
people,
good. They don't need
the
money.
people in town for vacation, or like Johnny Versace's fucking relatives of years past.
Nah, we're just hating. I think.
I am hating. I wish I could just blow $900,000.
Yeah, I've always heard people say that
For
about
charity.
like it feels the best when you give. Like giving is addictive and that kind of shit like that. And wouldn't know. Not,
I want to
not
be
there
inclined to
yet,
disagree,
guys.
but
Not there yet. I'll give you some tickets to a show.
word.
You know what
God.
I mean?
I
That's
love giving
about-
away Palooza tickets.
Hey,
That
here
makes
you
me
go,
feel-
sweetheart.
makes
Roll
me
your
feel
ass in
great.
here.
Oh man, not
No, I'm just
Roll
saying.
your ass
I
in there.
can't wait where I could have this kind of generosity.
Nah,
I think it's
it's-
a beautiful thing.
Here's what sucks is you can't have this. You can't have a $1 million generosity, but you
Yeah.
could have
You can give your
donate your
time.
time, donate your whatever.
I gave $200 to a homeless family once, man.
nice.
How was that?
You wish you had it back, didn't you?
Nah, you know what's funny is like the next day there was some sneakers I really wanted, and I remember thinking, like, I'm like, they still gonna be homeless after this 200, right? They ain't gonna change. It's like one day of less homeless. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and I could have had them
man.
sneakers for at least a few months. I
Like
could
this is like
stretch
a
out.
full family, dog. Like I don't.
So
And
check
they
it.
also got a stack.
I
3
pulled
kids.
up.
Yeah.
I pulled up on this mother and her. It was a young mother and her daughter.
Right.
Mhm.
And I said, I didn't know how to say, "Are you homeless?" Because they
Yeah.
had their bags
No,
and
that's a
everything. I knew this
conundrum.
bitch was homeless, but I
Yeah.
didn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Are you a fucking homeless person?
Yeah. It sounds. What if they're not on the off chance they're
They're
not?
on
You
the
look
off-
like a
She's
dick.
just out late at night. She wanted to get some fresh air or whatever
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that with all her luggage, but whatever. So I go, hey, how you doing? And she goes, good. Can I help you? Is everything
That's
okay?
sad, yeah.
Now I understood why.
Yeah.
Because if I'm the feds,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
police or some shit, she gets locked up. They take away her kids.
Yeah.
True.
So she was noticeably defensive. I kept it moving, and I had like a few $100s in my pocket. I was gonna give her. I think it was maybe like $125.
Had you
something like
decided
that.
this beforehand? You were gonna give some money away, or you
I was
just-
gonna give her everything in my pocket.
Okay.
I decided.
As soon as you
I didn't
saw
count
her.
the money. I just decided I was gonna give her. The second I saw her and the kids, and it was out at night. It was like late. It was like a Saturday night. I came from doing shows, probably 2 a.m. or something like that. Right on over in Astor Place.
Right.
So I go, okay. It was this weird situation. It was like the only thing I can relate to is like when you see a black guy that really looks like an athlete, but you don't want to say, "Hey, are you John Wallace?" In the
Yeah.
off chance it's not John
Right.
Wallace, and then you have this like weird,
Yeah.
where he goes, "You think all black guys look alike?" You know, this
Yeah.
kind of like weird thing, right?
Okay. Stereotyping. I got you.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, it's uncomfortable, right? You don't want
It's
to.
always uncomfortable, but
So I kept it moving. The next day, I saw her daughter. I think she might have 2 daughters, and then her mother was there as well. And it was late at night. And they're in the same spot, and the daughter was, I think, kind of sleeping. I just walked up and I was like, "Hey, I don't mean to make you guys uncomfortable or anything like that. Do you guys not have a place to sleep tonight?" And then they were kind of weird. They kind of looked around a little bit, and they were like, "Yeah, we're just trying to figure some things out." I go, "Okay, here's some money. Handle your business."
That's dope.
Very grateful. Felt really good.
amazing.
Yeah, it did feel really good. Not on some, obviously, giving a stack to somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I didn't get no fucking tears.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I might have held that money for
That's
a little
all.
bit, like, waiting for some emotion. You know what I mean?
like, yeah, so
Like, there was some thumb pressure on that shit.
You know, one thing I respect about Andrew is he is openly in need of gratitude when he does something nice for you. Like, he don't hold. The rest of us will hold that shit in. Andrew openly will look at you
Hey, so,
in disbelief, like in a Larry David way. Like,
Son, you know when they turn the you know with the coffee shops now, they turn the iPad to you and you put how much?
yeah.
I be going like this. I reach over so they can see it on their side before it flips. I need you to know how much you getting. There ain't gonna be no anonymous tip out here. I will snatch back $1 from a bar if the bartender leaves and then comes back.
Yeah,
I'll do. I have no problem. For one, I've had awkward moments where I was like, "Here you go, bro. Here," and then he looked at me and was like, "For $1? You want me to like $1? You put like $1, bro? Like, what's good? That's what I get out here."
But you know they don't share those tips though, unless it's like straight cash.
What you mean?
Like
The
when you do
homeless?
like the tips, like when you go and like turn over and like click like 30% tip or whatever. Like that all goes into a pot and they split that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. But that's fine. I'm cool with all them.
Oh,
getting
okay.
it.
All right, cool. All right.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
I like to reward like specific service. Like it's
Well,
not.
I'm
just
with you, but then that's restaurant policy.
Also,
you know?
funny Andrew story, and this is one of his whiter moments. Is white people love to tip. Like that's like a thing. Like
of
they take
course,
real
yeah.
pride in it. Like
Yeah.
we go to a diner. Andrew literally gets the wrong food, like the wrong meal, straight up. Wrong food comes out. This is like years ago. And then he goes to the waiter and starts arguing with him like, yo, you gave me the wrong food. Waiter's like, no, I didn't. And he's like, yeah, you did, dog. You gave me I ordered this, you gave me this. And the guy's like, nah, man, I didn't. You won't even look at what the fuck you wrote down. He's just like, nah, man, I didn't. This is New York service. He's like, nah, man, I didn't. That's on you. And he's like, you can eat it or you can not, whatever. And Andrew goes, he looks at me, or like kind of past me, like into the distance, just kind of gazing and contemplating everything. He's like, I'm furious. I'm livid. You know what? I'm only tipping 15%. Only tipping 15%. We shouldn't even pay for this meal.
Wait, what?
It's not the meal we wanted. Let's go.
That is an explicitly white person thing to do.
I thought I was teaching him a lesson. I was teaching him a 5% lesson, son.
God, got the 20%. Could have got it, but yo, you're bugging.
Yo,
son.
I'm over tipping, yo.
Yeah.
Like-
For real, I'm done.
I'll go between 15 and 20 if it's good, and if it's bad, you get like 10 to 15, and that's it.
I keep it real, man. Like as a black person, you kind of always have to like over tip, especially like when you're eating. You always got to compensate for like the stereotype. Like Alex, Alex, like when you got to eat, especially when you're in a group of people, and people go, "Oh, so what did you tip?" It's like, oh, you always make sure you have at least.
I think Indians
Can
know.
I say one
70% to the highest tip.
in the I don't know how many years I've known Charlamagne. Never once has he left the right amount of tip when we went out to eat.
Like
Never
in a good
one
way or
time.
bad way?
No, in a bad way. Never one. It's always the bill. He throws out a certain amount of money, and he just thinks that that's enough. And I go, nah, everybody got to put in more money. We got to leave the right amount of tip. So there might be some truth to this stereotype.
I don't understand. Charlamagne doesn't strike me as a bad tipper.
Not cheap at all. Just doesn't. He's
Doesn't
like
He doesn't
consider it,
equate.
think about it.
It's just like that amount of money is there. That seems like enough. Like it will be like a $200 meal, and it'll be like, yeah, but I left $20. $20 seems like a sufficient amount to tip
Hey,
somebody.
he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yo, so check it, right? And this is what I thought about, and I want to take credit for this shit so bad, but I'm not gonna, because I had a little post about how tipping is stupid. We're tipping a barista, right? And real talk, it's the least amount of work, right? All you do is you push a spout down, and then the coffee gets poured into my cup, and then you hand me the cup.
Let me tell you something. You
coffee's-
tip a barista.
Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah, I
the
was about
general
to say, like-
population does tip. They have a tip jar or whatever. Let's just assume people
Yeah,
tip.
some people tip, right. Right.
Not too much arguing up front about this,
Gotcha.
right? So, because we're on the same page about how absurd it is. It's a $2 cup of coffee. I'm tipping you $1. I'm tipping you at a 50% rate for this coffee, right? For the least amount of work, right? And apparently Bill Burr had a similar bit about like a deli, but my feeling was they don't even finish making the coffee. Like I go, I'll have milk and sugar, and they go, milk and sugar's over there. And Bill Burr had a bit, I think, about a deli where he's like, yeah, mayonnaise and whatever, blah 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 is over there. And then his response was, did you notice how you don't know who I am? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, that's because I don't fucking work here. See how much funnier he is? Anyway, but in all seriousness, I do this tip about how it's absurd that we're tipping for fucking everything, right? It's wrong. And then this guy DMs me. He goes, listen, think about this. Why are we tipping on the percentage of the? Why are we tipping a percentage of the cost?
Yes.
It's no more work to bring a plate of crab legs that are very expensive or a plate of bread to the table. Think about that for a second.
I'm with it. That's why I said Charlamagne's got a point. That's what I thought he was doing.
Does have a
Son,
point.
and I'm with you on that. I'm saying it makes perfect sense, and that's why I could see anybody in that situation. Yeah, I left $20. It seemed like $20 worth of work. He just came over.
And this is why black people I'm usually with, usually have to overcompensate for this, because the way we equate tipping, or the way I've always equated tipping growing up, is like it's a service thing. You know what I mean? Like you tip your barber for doing a great job. You tip like the fucking the guy who, like, if somebody washes your car, or like somebody that does an actual service. You know what I mean? Like maybe if you go to a special restaurant where like they go fucking above and beyond to do some shit, I get it. But like, just like you said, like it takes no it takes no extra work to carry over a chicken sandwich than it does to carry over
a plate of lettuce.
You know, a plate of lettuce or some shit.
Some of these fancy restaurants, the waiter doesn't even bring you the food.
Fam.
They got a separate brown person just for that job.
And you gotta like look at him too, like you
Latino
don't even...
or Indian, fancy, depending on how fancy the restaurant
if it
is.
goes really fancy, they always go Indian.
That is an Andrew bit. That's an Andrew bit.
I noticed that because I was in some of these restaurants and I went to like Balthazar. You know Balthazar, some fancy restaurant downtown. I noticed there wasn't one Latino working here. It was all Indians, and I was like, they just tried to upgrade the brown. Did you try to upgrade brown? I see what you doing, Balthazar.
It's quality of brown folks right there, especially in the service industry.
Yo, first of all,
question: do you guys tip for Ubers?
I have to,
son.
Yeah.
I tipped for the first time in my life just recently.
Really?
I tipped for the first time in my life because the bitch.
You damn near got to suck my dick to get shit out of Uber for me.
Son, I'm telling you, and I shouldn't have said bitch. The woman had a pot of coffee.
Yes,
in the Uber.
yes, I did
that's
see that this
tip-worthy.
weekend.
That's tip-worthy.
Fam, I come back. How do I say this? I didn't sleep in my place. And and I go, I'm getting this Uber in the morning. I probably slept like 3 hours.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Uber pulls up, and I'm like, man, I hope to God she got water. That would be perfect right now. But if she doesn't have water, that's totally fine. I go in there, and this sweet lady goes, can I get you anything? Do you want some water? Do you want some coffee? Whatever. I go, what did you just say? She goes, yeah, we got some coffee
She
here.
had
If
a
you
full
want some
pot of coffee.
Fam, she had multiple coffees. She had like a French vanilla flavor coffee, another one. Son, and then she put that shit in a red solo cup, which was brave, but like, because it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
But I could not have been more grateful of the coffee.
That's worthy of gratuity because I have gratitude for your service.
There you
Exactly.
go.
She went
It's
above
in
and
the
beyond.
word.
Son, I didn't even know what the tipping function of Uber looked like. I found it. I gave her free tickets to the show that night. She came out to the show with
That's
her
dope.
daughter, who happens to be a fan.
Nice.
It was
That's
some
dope.
random thing, but yeah,
Nice.
shout out to Robin Nelson. I love you. You changed the Uber game. Every Uber I go in from now on, I ask if he thinks about doing coffee.
You're gonna walk in and somebody's gonna have like a Coca-Cola freestyle machine. Like you want a grape
Amazing.
spray.
Yo,
or something
it would be
like,
amazing.
Yeah. Fuck out, well, I mean, shit. My thing with tipping with Ubers though, it's like I've had like a notoriously bad luck with Ubers, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this because like they have like a star rating. Like I know you give, the drivers star ratings, but I didn't know the drivers give you a rating as well.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize this until like 3 years into like using Uber.
Yeah.
And I found out my score was like a 4.5 or some shit
Oh,
because I never tipped. I was like, oh, thanks for the ride. Like I didn't know that was
No, I
a
don't
thing
think it
you could
matters.
do.
I don't- They don't get to decide
Based on
a tip.
Oh well, either
just
way,
trash.
I was
You
just trash,
bro. You're trash at sitting in a car.
Andrew,
That's the
what's
least
your
amount
rating?
of
'Cause
work.
my shit might not be good either.
Yo, my shit.
Hold
back
on,
when-
let me
That's 'cause
pull
I
up my
stay
Uber
lying
rating
on
right
them.
now. Yo.
Like I wait till they're downstairs and they call me for me to be like, yeah, I'm right here. And I just hop in the
Fam,
elevator.
we went to the All-Star game. No, we went to Palooza. We took
Yeah.
an Uber. Andrew had this bitch waiting for like 20 minutes.
Bro, I did?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, outside
Yeah.
the thing.
Wait.
But that's understandable.
All right,
It's
so-
Palooza,
So
bro.
that is true.
Come on, it's
And like the more I think
bro.
about it, I'm like, like most times I take Ubers aren't in the best circumstances. I'm either like about to get drunk
Yeah.
or I'm already drunk.
Yeah.
And
Bruh,
it's really not.
I'm a 4.6 and I don't drink. So
Yo, your talking
Wait,
game is
what's-
trash.
you know
bro.
what fucked me up? I not even lying was Philly. My girl lived in Philly, and I would take these Ubers, and these motherfuckers would be dickheads, and I would just give it right back to them. Because I'd just be like, I'm paying for this. What the fuck are you being an
Why you
asshole
treat
for?
me like this?
Yeah.
But they got a little bit of leverage, right? It is a kind of nice system in that it keeps us both fake nice.
Very true.
How do I find my Uber shit?
You go to the app and you press the profile.
Oh,
I'm
damn,
I'm a
son.
4.56.
I'm 3.7.
For real? Be real. Let me see. Let me see.
There's no way. There's no way it's
Nah,
that
I'm
low.
playing, I'm playing.
I knew it.
I'm a 4.63.
Oh, all right.
Ooh,
So
you
of
got me
course
by
I got
0.02.
What you
I'm
got?
4.61.
What you got?
4.56.
Y'all ain't
I'm
shit.
4.86.
Oh, well,
Yeah, but
Alex
you
got the best
fucking law enforcement, P. You know what I mean? You probably pull
You're
out the
arrested.
pistol.
Young as
You pull out the pistol like, yo, you better give me a 5. What?
Don't Alex look young as fuck? I was telling him earlier,
hey,
man.
ain't nothing like new pussy.
He didn't look like he got. I asked him if he got
Alex
a
is
facial.
extra exfoliated today, bro. Like,
I feel
using that rose water.
Alex out here killing the game, bro.
I respect it, bro.
Shout out to Alex, man.
I saw his Instagram story. My man is doing the pull-ups where
Oh.
he just pulls himself all the way up, and then he does a fucking crunch, and then started waving his feet back and forth like a fan.
Yo, he's out here.
Heartbreak
bro.
diet, man. Ain't nothing like it.
He's
Ain't
back.
nothing like it.
Alex he's wearing stonewashed jeans. Get it, Zach.
Man out here dressed like Uzi Vert.
Shout out to Uzi. Look at you knowing all your Philly rappers. You really are about that Philly
Is he
life.
Philly?
Yeah,
I actually didn't know.
Yeah, he's from Philly. Yeah.
Shout
He
to-
doesn't, he
shout to
doesn't strike
Uzi,
you
man.
as a Philly guy, doesn't he?
No,
Me neither. It
Doesn't
took
seem
me-
angry enough.
took me a while.
He's so jovial. Everything's good.
Guys, we want to talk Oscars. I know we did a lot more on tipping talk than we wanted.
I
but
think that's a good idea to start.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can I don't know if I said this in the group chat, but I want to say this to all of you. It broke my heart to watch Kobe get up there in front of all these Hollywood pussies
Yeah.
and be like touched and honored and grateful. Kobe, you're too good for everybody in that room. And I mean that sincerely. You are too good for everybody.
probably agree, but
I don't
why?
know. I don't know if everybody in that room. Don't get me wrong, but most of these like fake pandering. I'm just gonna say what's good. I'm gonna hate on Weinstein when I knew this motherfucker was doing it the whole time, and now I'm gonna come out about it. I'm gonna take a moral high ground. The best hot take I heard about the Hollywood people when they come out against the wall for Trump, they're like, "How dare he build a wall?" And then they go to their gated communities, which keep out all the poor people that aren't even from another country.
I may
You
have
don't
said
even
that.
want Americans in your community, let alone people from other countries. All I'm saying is these people. Not all of them, but a lot of these people are completely spineless. They waver, they vacillate, and they don't even realize it, right?
It gets really disgusting after a while to
Yeah.
watch. Like I was watching it, and it's like we've all known like Hollywood's kind of been like a shit place like forever.
I've
You know
been
what I'm saying?
through with actors for a couple of years, dog. I'm done.
And I want you to finish. I just want to say one thing. The thing is this: what annoys me is if they knew that all they wanted was acceptance. I'm in the acceptance business. I'm one of the. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I have films coming out. I'm a stand-up, which is the most acceptance. I'm on stage asking for acceptance, right? So I understand it. But they take this moral high ground like it is an acceptance that they want. What they really want is to be virtuous. No, it's not.
Yeah.
If all of your fans wanted Trump's agenda, you'd be making Trump movies. You wouldn't give a fuck about the environment in a heartbeat. You will do whatever is politically correct and acceptable that will further your career. And the fact that I know that about them makes me see right through this. And the fact that Kobe could care about those type of people's opinions, like that, Kobe, you're a fucking.
Like let's think about it right here.
You're the,
Like,
I'm not even a
there's-
Kobe fan, but this is greatness.
That's
we're
what I'm
looking
saying.
at.
I'm like,
this
yo,
is true greatness.
If you rank all the people in attendance,
Fucking
there's
Glenn
maybe
Close.
there's maybe like 4 or 5 people who have had a longer run of sustained greatness than Kobe. Like it's Denzel,
Son.
Meryl Streep, and then Kobe.
And
it's like this
here's-
motherfucker's been popping since '96.
And their greatness is subjective. Kobe's is not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kobe won.
Kobe couldn't suck dick
It's
to
head
win
to
a
head.
championship.
It's not-
Do you know what I mean? A lot of those girls in there suck dick to get their Oscar. You know what I mean? There's some lipstick on a collar to get your Oscar.
No, for sure. And I think we all have our little diatribes you want to get out. So, Kaz, what's yours?
I mean, it was kind of weird seeing Kobe like be like that. You know what I mean? Like he got his first Oscar in his first shot. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Leonardo DiCaprio have the same amount of fucking Oscars, dog. like, why are you really that hyped for this? Like,
Son, does he have the same amount as Denzel?
no.
No,
Denzel's
got
got a
doubles.
couple. He's got a
He
couple.
got 2, right?
But
Training Day and what else?
Training Day,
The
and,
movie about the Civil War back in the day.
Best supporting,
was
I
Glory?
think he got.
Glory, right?
Glory.
Did he
But
win
that was
Best
supporting. It
Supporting?
It was
wasn't.
best supporting. It wasn't best.
Yeah, but still, it's
actor,
an Oscar.
But yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
But,
I mean, a trash one.
No, I just didn't know if he won.
it's
or
like
was-
once you watch the award show and you see the type of things that they're televising, like, oh, okay, they gotta give it to Kobe. Like in what other year are they gonna be like they're gonna televise best animated shorts
this is-
scripted? I'm like, all right,
This is exactly what I'm talking about with
ratings.
With Oscars, with the Oscars, it's also phony. Of course, Get Out was gonna win.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yes.
Kobe was gonna do. Like they're doing the thing that will pander to the people that they're making stuff for.
Yeah.
Right? Was
Yeah.
Get Out? I didn't see Get Out. I heard it's a phenomenal movie. I heard
great
people
movie.
say it's
It is a great
unbelievable.
movie.
I
Yeah.
heard unbelievable. I still want to see it. I'm not. But it was the right choice.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like
it's political.
It was the political
you remember,
right
years
choice.
ago, I bet our friend Michael Blaustein,
Yes.
shouts to Blau, on
Shouts to
who would
Blau,
win
yo.
Best Actress of the Year, Sandra Bullock won. And he was like, no, because this he's like an actor. He was. This lady gave an incredible performance. I was like, no one gives a fuck about the performance. Sandra Bullock is going to win because that's what people are saying should happen, and that's really all it takes.
Yeah.
Get Out, enough people say Get Out should win, Get Out will win. The first Marvel movie to win an Oscar is going to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to deal with the uproar of it not winning.
That's true. Because what happened in the Golden Globes? Get Out didn't get anything.
People were heated.
They were nominated like in the
Tight.
comedy like section or something, right? Like
Tight,
or some weird.
Oh, that's right.
shit.
They were nominated in like the comedy section, and then there was all this talk. It's not a comedy. It's a serious thing. Da 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 da. It was all this bullshit, and all of a sudden it was
I
like,
mean, that was
oh, well,
funny
let's-
moments in the movie, but I wouldn't call it a full blown fucking comedy.
I think it's because of his background that they thought that.
And Lil
there's
Rel
comedians
and,
in it,
yeah,
et cetera.
those guys, yeah.
Again, and I can't have like a true good opinion on it because I haven't seen the film just yet. Everybody who I've heard saw it or has spoken to me who saw it said it's fantastic.
It's a fun movie. It's well written, all that type of stuff. One thing I'm just saying is, it's like, I don't know why we have to pretend like this shit isn't fucking boring as fuck.
Oh, I didn't watch at all. I didn't know who won except Kobe. You guys texted me about Kobe.
Yeah.
I didn't know who won till this morning. This is just the women's NFL Combine. It's some shit that you're watching that you don't need to watch. You could just
all
read
the
the
results
results.
tomorrow.
Son, it's wrestling for gays. Is it not? Or maybe that's what the Tonys are, or some shit like
I'll
that.
say the Tonys.
The Tonys are that, right? But
right?
isn't that what this is? It's just like wrestling for beta males, right? It's like it's all scripted. We know how it's going to go out. These people are going to give these dumb virtue signaling speeches and then go back to their private homes.
And that's
And they have like the wackest, like they have this segment that they do every year. They always want to have like this viral moment where, like, I think the first time they did, I think when Ellen was hosting the awards or something like that, and they took that big selfie with all these famous folks.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
this year they're like, "Yo, we're gonna go next door to this movie theater, and we just need some famous people to come like watch the I guess A Wrinkle in Time with people." And they were like, "We're gonna shoot hot dogs into the crowd and bring cotton candy and yada yada yada."
Get the fuck out of
and
my
it's such a
face.
contrived fucking moment.
Ellen, for the
of
record,
fake
Ellen is a beast,
shock.
I think, but I
Yeah.
want to see real Ellen once. I like Ellen. I like Ellen the way she is.
Ellen's a beast.
But Ellen, a real one, and I know it, and I just want to see her come out of pocket once or twice.
No, that's a great
Shane
fucking
messing
point.
up that pocket,
because
her pockets, bro.
Yeah, but you can't have that level of success sustained for that long without some cutthroat gangster in you.
Oh, you got
and
to.
we just never get to see it.
You got to.
Damien
And she
saw
can
her at
eat
a
pussy.
Our homie Damian Lemon saw her at a party one time, and he was like, "Yo, Ellen got that party jumping. Like, Ellen was in there dancing. Like he was like, Ellen did it." My last rant about the Oscar. I've done
That's
this
a
a
great
lot.
photo, by the way.
About actors and the hypocrisy of pretending you care about poor people when you literally fuck a wall. They have bodyguards. You have a human wall that you just keep people out of your way from.
Yeah.
The idea that you know anything when you're a fucking theater major, you don't have any answers.
Yeah.
You literally took an entire class on how to breathe. Suck my dick. You think you know something? That took you 5 months? That's 5 months? But just some of the hypocrisy when I think about the Oscars, I think about Meryl Streep last year.
Yeah.
Like, my girl had this speech fucking playing loud.
Oh,
Meryl
yeah.
Streep criticizing Trump. Turns out she knew about Harvey Weinstein this whole time.
The
all
whole
these
You
industry
sit
did.
there and all these bitches did,
whole
but we
industry
know for
did.
a fact she did, and she is the goddess. Nominated 40 times or
I
whatever.
just
the
didn't
fuck.
like how she came at sports last year.
What'd you
Remember,
say
she's
again?
like, if without the art, there's all there is left is sports. Let me tell you something. Nothing has brought more friendships together, at least with men, than organized sports.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Every one of my friends outside of comedy, and comedy gets close to sports, but it has been from basketball.
Here's a fucking point.
Yeah.
You know how...
Just let me
okay, go
finish
ahead.
that. No friendships have ever been formed from a Meryl Streep movie or a Glenn Close movie or anything like that.
Bridges
Name a
in
time-
Madison County ain't bringing nobody together.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Like, I will be at a game and somebody hit a big shot and I'm hugging a total fucking stranger.
Bruh.
I'm not gonna watch
Bruh.
a great Meryl Streep movie and just hug a total stranger.
No matter how good the movie is, I didn't slap fives with anybody after that
Yeah.
shit.
To this point, Hollywood claims they want to bring all the races together, right? What's the number one type of movie? The only type of movie that only seems to bring the races together? Sports movies.
Yeah.
Based on real events.
Yeah.
Sports
Facts.
does it, and then the only way you can do it is by imitating.
It's emotional, man. It's poetic sports. That's why we love it. That's why it brings so many people together.
Also,
I love this picture, by the way, because it looks like Dave Chappelle still pressing Jordan Peele.
Oh, it does.
About
it does.
It's like, you stole my show, motherfucker.
Yo, this is funny. Now
That-
Dave want to be friends with Jordan
No,
all of a sudden.
I don't think he's trying to be friends, dog. Like, he's looked like. I don't think
hope he
they've met
keeps that
before.
same energy because he be popping off like he invented
That's
sketch.
That's what I'm saying.
You
like,
ain't invent
yo,
sketch, Dave.
He was like,
You know what
yo.
I mean? Dave swears that he's the first person to ever have a sketch.
He's like, I love Comedy Central, and I see all these people trying to do my show.
Well,
And he
here's what's
specifically said Key and Peele. Like,
But what is
jacked
so
the show.
unique about his show? He had a sketch show.
It was a sketch comedy
Also
show.
weirder, he said the same thing about Amy Schumer, and I love Chappelle, but then he had Amy Schumer open for him at the Garden, now or at Radio City. Now maybe that's the flex.
I was about to say that's kind of a
maybe
that's kind of a
the
flex.
flex. Is like, look, he's still open for me.
Yeah, but that's Jay-Z signing Nas.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
maybe
yeah,
that's the
the
flex.
flex. But all I'm saying is keep the same energy. If you're gonna call some, I just don't understand the claim. How could someone steal a show when it's just sketch?
That
like,
picture don't look friendly, dog. Like the energy
Jordan
look
look
like
like
it's
he
kept.
don't want it.
Like,
Whatever.
that is
Jordan
an
is like, one of us does not have an Oscar here, and if they could please leave the group, that'd be great. How did Anthony Anderson end up here?
Blackish is phenomenal. Watch Blackish. And
No, I heard it's a great show.
phenomenal.
Blackish is a
Holy
great
fuck,
show.
Best show on TV.
I watched Hang Time. Shout out to y'all. Remember Hang Time? Anthony
don't
Anderson.
remember Hang Time.
Y'all remember Hang Time from TNBC? Way
I
back
do.
in the day, that
I do.
that basketball team from Indiana, and he
Wait,
played.
maybe.
Oh,
He
dude.
didn't have a father in that shit?
Yeah, like
no, I
there was
don't
a
know.
girl on the team
Wait,
and
I thought
shit.
it was the high school show.
There was
Oh,
high
yeah,
school.
yeah, I do know that.
Well,
Yeah,
it came on after Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
and
I
I
shit.
saw
remember.
an episode.
Yeah.
Here,
That's our first one, Anthony Anderson.
two other points about how ridiculously hypocritical the Oscars is.
Yeah.
This entire thing, time's up. Me Too. You know who nobody said a fucking word about? Who's still revered as a god? Woody Allen is still revered as a god because it's just allegations. I've seen articles, these are just allegations. You know what's a fact? He married his adopted daughter.
Allegedly.
No, that's real. The adopted daughter. Nate
That's
McIntosh has the best
disgusting.
line, you can't adopt something and then fuck it.
Yeah,
You just can't.
I bet, but you can.
But he
You know what
did.
I mean? Like, but
he
you
did.
really can, though. Now, the
Man.
thing about Woody is that, and I'm not out here defending Woody. I think it's absolutely weird, but the perception of what happened was a little bit different than the reality, right? It wasn't his daughter. It was his wife's daughter. He never lived in the same house as her, right? They weren't like this father-daughter relationship, and he raised her, and then all of a sudden he started having sex with her. It's not like, like when you have chickens and then you eat one. And
His wife's adopted daughter, but they didn't ever live in the same house?
yeah, he lived in a different house.
That's his wife?
Yeah.
Still kind of
Still
gross.
super weird, man.
Son,
Still kinda
I'm not
gross.
saying it's not gross as fuck. I'm not saying it's not weird. But the one thing that gives me like pause about calling him out that is they're still together. Like if you were a pedophile, you're not gonna let her grow. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy the worst
Like,
pedophile ever,
once you
fam.
hit
Like
17, you're like, you look a little rough around that.
that's what I'm saying. And then he locked it down. He's still with her. Like on some level, maybe that's his soulmate.
Maybe that's the only one that stayed with him.
All right, this is getting weird.
Yo, maybe it's his soulmate, son. Think about that shit.
Bruh.
I can't ride this ride with
All
you
right,
guys. Like, I'm getting off the
Let's get
roller coaster,
into-
bro.
Let's get into some shit. What are we talking
Talk about some sports, goddammit.
Anybody, I talked about the combine earlier. Anybody care about the combine?
I cared.
Oh, I love
I cared about the combine. I cared about the
it.
I
love
cared about
reading
the
about
underwear Olympics and the
It is. I was trying to think of what I just called it the Olympics
Yeah.
in my notes.
No,
but
it's
it
the
was
underwear
a-
Olympics.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
the term
underwear
for it.
Olympics, man.
That's what they call it.
Oh,
the
it's known that it's a
A
known
lot of
term,
people
right?
call it that. Yeah.
Oh God, it's just so great. Like
You
it's
watch
amazing.
it though? You like watch it or you read
No,
about it?
I watch it like
There-
SNL.
I'll
If
be-
something good happens, it pops
Yeah.
up on my feed.
There you
I'll
go.
be honest. There's certain parts of it as a black dude. It makes
That's
me
what I
just
was wondering.
just a smidge uncomfortable.
Why? Explain that. Yeah. What,
Like, I don't mind watching like people run the 40 or broad jumps or like test of strength or whatever.
Yeah.
It's when people get to like measuring hand size and
Right.
arms, like, and there's like a bunch of like nerdy white people around this large black man
It's
with like
like
a
Get
tape
Out.
measure to like their head and neck and arm.
It's
And
also
just,
like slavery.
it
That's what I
just
think
it
he's
looks
saying.
like
He
they
understands
are.
it's different, but it's just a little weird to see that
Yeah.
again, I assume.
Like
I've
I
always
have
wondered.
enough nuance to understand. No, it's not slavery. These are people like about to make millions.
Well,
and
they're there
millions
by
of dollars.
choice, right?
And
You
they're
don't
there
have
by
to go-
choice,
yeah, yeah.
obviously. Just the optics are just a little.
I agree with you. The optics
yeah.
seem weird, but I'm hesitant to use the slavery analogy because I'm sure these people measuring have this down to a literal science, right? For example, a bigger hand for a quarterback allows you to pump fake a football better. A smaller hand,
fumble-less, that's what they think.
Yeah.
Right, but there's also the idea of like pump fake. If smaller, like wet hand, for example, you play in Buffalo, it's going to be shitty weather. I can't have small hand quarterback in Buffalo. I could have a small hand quarterback in a dome.
That's why they thought Johnny Manziel was going to be fine in the next level.
Because he had big fucking hands.
Large hands.
Exactly,
you know
right?
what I mean?
So I guess what I'm saying is when you see them measuring, and while the optics are real tricky, the way I go back to it is like, these guys are about to invest millions of dollars in somebody, right? It is no different than when you have the FBI makes you take a reasoning test, right? Or I'm sure these tech companies have a sit down with you and they say, well, my buddy got picked up for, he was working for not Deutsche Bank, but like some French one.
Okay.
And they gave him a series of questions that didn't have a real answer, but they tested how you got to the answer.
Yeah, Google
so
does
they were measuring his hands, but they were measuring his brain processing power. They were like, how wide is the world? Tell us how you get there.
Gotcha.
How would you measure the and like he had to break down how to the foot how wide the fucking world was and how he got to that answer. So that's the same thing with football.
I don't think
optics crazy.
Yeah, like I don't think there's a coach there like in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl and somebody like reaches over for like that 1-inch first down. It's like, oh man, we're real glad that guy measured with that extra inch of a finger.
No, but there's people who do. But I think we both know they're not. The owners aren't like, hey, you know, it'd be fun. Let's make them slaves. Like I don't think that's what we get. Like let's just have a whole week event to just make them slaves. Like, but it makes sense why they do it.
Yeah.
But it just looks weird.
Dude, there's a reason why they don't hire women at construction sites. Right?
Yeah.
It's because they do a combine and they can barely lift a cinder block. So like, why don't I hire those guys that are good at lifting cinder blocks, right?
And that's why we make a big deal of a woman working in a construction site. Because like, look at this one woman.
She's probably really good at fucking lifting.
Every woman at
break down the walls, you know?
So there's another one like with firefighters, right? There's a requirement to be a firefighter. They make you run they might run a certain distance at a certain speed. You have to lift them a certain amount of weight.
Yeah, you got to do that Ric Flair drill.
You got to do the Ric Flair. Yo, son, they got a combine for firefighters as they should, because you might have to get someone out the fucking fire, right? So I think it's just the same thing. Only you pay these motherfuckers a lot more.
Yeah,
so you invest a lot more. I get
need to know how big your hands are, dog.
We get it. No, we get it.
The two big stories out of the combine were going into it was the whole Lamar Jackson working out as a wide receiver, which I thought was bullshit. Which I did call on this podcast.
Son,
months ago.
You called it, bro.
Months ago, I'm like, watch, they're gonna say he's not ready to play NFL quarterback. They're going to try and put him in a different position just because he's fast and he's quick and he's slight of build. But nobody says shit about Baker Mayfield, even though they're the exact same size.
I think there's also a little country bias with that.
Baker Mayfield ain't as athletic as
I mean, like they have the same build, is what I'm saying.
But don't put them in the same category of athleticism. Baker Mayfield used to be a fat kid. But Lamar Jackson's always been an athletic
Lamar Jackson's
freak.
a fucking all-world athlete.
Yeah, can we talk about Hook?
Hook. We're talking about.
That's right. Yo,
what's his name?
Shaquem Griffin.
Shaquem Griffin. I don't know what it is, but dude, this kid is just great.
He's everything.
Just made me smile.
There's it's hard to find certain things about the NFL to like smile about. That was such a feel good fucking story, dude.
Bro, you know what impressed me more than the 40 is the bench.
Yes.
25 times. 25 times. 20 times.
20 times, essentially with one arm. I wonder how much. Yeah, I wonder how much effort. So, for everybody who doesn't know, who's not watching NFL football, there's a kid who played at UCF, and he played linebacker at UCF named Shaquem Griffin, and he
has a brother who plays for the Seahawks.
Okay, all right, okay, good. So he's got it in the fam, and I don't know if it's he had an injury or
he has a nub,
but he basically has a nub. So he's missing his hand. He has everything up to the hand. It's like chopped off, right? It's on some like Darth Vader shit, right?
Or like
for real. Yeah. So what they did is they put this device on his wrist that allowed him to lock onto the bench press bar, and he threw up 225 pounds 20 times. And then he did a 40-yard dash, and he measured the fastest 40-yard dash since they started.
4.3.
For the linebackers.
4.38.
Fastest speed time since 2003, since they started measuring 40s for linebackers.
Yes.
So, like, fast as fuck. And, killed every drill. He went from maybe a second-day pick to, like, maybe a second-rounder.
Hold on. You think that he'll get picked?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Really? He went from third day pick, which is like, because now it's 1 and then 2, 3, I think.
Right.
To now, like, people are saying lock top 100 pick.
Yeah.
So now he's a second day pick, top 100, Not locked, but like that's where everybody's got.
So
him.
here's my question: do we allow him to wear some sort of prosthetic that makes him able to catch a football?
No.
You can't add anything because I know there's certain players who have a broken hand or broken fingers, and what they do is
JPP,
they well, JPP has a certain, but I'm talking about the guys who just they put a cast over the entire hand. They just turn it into like a
club,
like a
thing.
club.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You've seen that
yeah,
before,
that's
right?
what JPP had.
Oh, so they just clubbed it up.
Well, for a minute when he first came back, he was just like it was like he was walking around with a big fucking frying pan on his hand.
So the question is, how much more can you add? Right? Because if we let him add something, then players
Yeah, the unfair advantage. Yeah.
Players could essentially go, hey, well, I want to add 4 inches to the tips of my fingers on my gloves so I can bat down passes.
I don't think.
I don't think you can because I think it's gonna have to. It would if they did. I don't think you should, but if they did, it would have to be identical size to his other hand, probably.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be like, let me get a 4-foot prosthetic.
Good call. So we will allow you to add something.
Yeah.
It will be the same size as your other hand.
Right.
It can't be anything bigger.
But I don't think he's gonna. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy who wants
But like
that.
when he was running receiver drills, he wasn't wearing anything on his hand. He was catching it like with his hand and his forearm. So it was just like he was just going in and playing defense, doing I don't know the fucking shuttle drill, whatever, where you do like the Z thing, and then they throw you the ball, and he was just catching it with his arm and shoulders, like no hand, which was fucking amazing to watch. That's how I was like, nah, this I'm like.
And I remember reading about him at what's it called, Senior Day. They said he was looking good at Senior Day.
Yeah,
dude, this guy when he runs the 40, I mean. Somebody that size, like when you see these little guys run the 40, yeah, it's impressive because of speed.
Yeah.
But you're like, if he ran into me that fast, I could handle it. This guy
running.
Imagine being on the other end of that.
I told you this months ago. They're the biggest freaks of nature in sports.
Still, but seeing that,
yes,
like seeing the acceleration, like a guy like Rob Gronkowski, when we had Spencer here yesterday, he had a great point. He's like, the thing about Rob is when he gets to full speed, you can't chase him down. It takes him a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
But
once
this guy,
he's at top speed, it's hard to.
This guy's at top speed, like 4 steps in.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. He's a freak. I was watching a lot of NFL Live today, and like you said, he went from a third-day pick to like all like Mel Kiper and all these guys. Like, oh yeah, no, he could definitely go on the first or second day in like the second round. Like they said, I think somebody said absolute latest third round for him now.
Really?
Yeah, like it's incredible. I'm rooting for him, man. I hope a team takes a chance.
NFL could use it, man. The NFL could use it. They could use one fucking feel-good story.
One,
dude,
right?
Absolutely. And some groupies could use that.
Yeah. And he can't, I mean, really, he can't even that realistically hit a spouse.
Are you kidding?
I mean, he can, but like
it's the best, but there's no fingerprint proof. He's not gonna be choking her.
Doing
no.
the thing for you.
No. But I'm talking about like that thing right there, dude. You know, it's not fisting, it's wristing, but you could, dude. Shaq, you are going to make some groupies very happy, okay? Ain't going to be, no, I can't get it up tonight, boo.
Oh, God.
That shit is good to
just
go.
Oil up that nub and just
Real
go to
talk, man. Oh,
go
my
to work.
God.
Saquon Barkley, Penn State beast.
This guy is I watched YouTube videos of him lifting. Have you seen him?
I've watched him for a while. God. I've watched him for a while. And we was talking about it last week when Spencer was here. We was talking about, how some high school players just aren't ready for the NFL. Like, you can't go from high school to the pros like that. And he's like, the only person I've seen, he said he's only seen do it is like Adrian Peterson.
That's right, AP,
and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this kid Saquon Barkley, man, he is fucking, he's Marshawn Lynch with breakaway from the cop speed, which is like ridiculous. And not only that, the combine he kills, he's far and away the best prospect in the draft. The Giants have the number 2 pick. The Browns have the number 1 pick. The Browns need everything. If you're the Browns, do you essentially you're giving the Giants exactly what they need. You know what I mean? You give a back like that gives Eli Manning another 3-4 years of his career.
Facts.
A back like that
Facts.
gets Odell Beckham a lot of one-on-ones going deep.
Whoa.
Like,
Guys, the Giants don't have a line.
They don't have a line.
No running back on earth Barry Sanders is the only one I've seen in my life good enough to run without a line.
But now you can spend money on that line because the person you are drafting
is so cheap.
It's so cheap.
It's a good point.
First round picks aren't super cheap, but I see what
cheaper.
you're saying. But they
Cheap
also
enough
Eli eats up cap space. They signed a bunch of free agents. Olivier Vernon got a huge contract.
True. And they still got to sign Odell.
Janoris Jenkins got a huge contract. Odell. Now, I'm not saying this is the wrong pick.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets him gets a talented player. And here's a debate I heard a while ago. If you think Barkley's by far the number one player and you're the Browns, don't you just take him number one and then get a quarterback at 4?
Yeah.
Because the Giants might take a
top
QB.
5 picks.
They got 2 top 5 picks. So if he is that guy, and I didn't see any of the combine stuff, but I was reading just about him in general. I read most people really high, 1 or 2 that are like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. He's going to be good, but I don't know. Anyway, if that's your guy, though, don't you just take him 1? And then there's 3 quarterbacks that people are kind of grouping together. Rosen, Barkley, and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So
you'll get one of them at 4.
Here, if I'm the Browns, I'm going to learn from my mistakes and stop drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
And this will get us into an interesting conversation, which is the demise of the quarterback.
No, but all right, go ahead.
We'll get that. I'm saying, and I'm not talking about my opinion. I'm talking about in the opinions of GMs around the league.
Okay.
So, demise of the quarterback in terms of its importance. If I'm the Browns, clearly my offensive line has not been good enough to protect any marquee quarterback that I've drafted in the last 5 years. Or
but have you really drafted any marquee quarterbacks?
They've
had a lot of hype quarterbacks.
Yeah, Manziel. I mean, what's it called? RG3
got hurt
They got like
quick.
the bag of bones that was RG3, not like electric
true.
first round RG3.
Fair. But I guess my point is, if I'm them, I'm trading those two top 5 picks. I'm trading 1 and 4, and I'm getting as many potential linemen as I can, offense and defense.
Yeah.
Because it fucking starts there. Let's build it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Let's get guys that I know, maybe not this season, but in the next few seasons, have the potential to, 1, lock some shit down on D and make it easier for my DBs, and protect whoever is in the pocket.
If someone is willing to trade up, sure.
Right.
That's what they did the last 2 years, I think. Last year for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want our high picks? Cool, we'll take them. We'll trade down. We want your high picks next year and this year. And so, and a number 1 pick is worth a shitload. They have like draft charts on how much a pick is worth.
Yeah.
The number 1 overall pick is worth. I mean, RG3 was. They traded up to number 2 to get RG3, the Redskins. They gave their first round pick that year and the next 2 years.
Yikes.
So they gave up 2 extra first rounders, and then I think a third or something like that. So like, if someone offers you like that,
Take
you
that
just
shit.
got it.
Yeah.
Someone needs to want Saquon Barkley or whoever that bad.
Fair. Okay. So the reason I say the demise of importance of the quarterback, Blake Bortles gets signed.
Yeah. Get extended.
Gets extended, right? Pretty big deal.
Okay.
When we saw him play mediocrely.
Right.
He had a decent postseason.
Decent postseason.
Yeah.
The Redskins sign
Alex Smith. Trade for Alex Smith.
They trade for Alex Smith instead of re-signing
Kirk Cousins.
who is a very good quarterback,
Yeah.
Kirk
I think
Cousins,
so, yeah.
right?
And I think he's going to do well wherever he goes. Hopefully the Jets.
So both teams make a decision to downgrade in the quarterback position because they don't believe that it's important enough to win, right? I think there's more teams. Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about plays okay and they won. Actually won the Super Bowl. Do they have Carson Wentz? Yes. Do we believe he can come back? Yes. But, part of you as a franchise has to look at the situation and go, wow, this guy's a gamer.
Yeah.
We don't know if Carson Wentz is a gamer. We don't know if he's playoff ready.
Carson Wentz he would have been the MVP.
I think he would be a gamer, but you have empirical evidence that Foles is a gamer. You
Yeah.
don't yet have that for Wentz.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, it seems that teams, maybe for the first time in our lifetime watching sports, it seems that teams are moving away from we have to have a marquee quarterback model.
I think. Go ahead.
I think to your point, what you're saying is half true.
Okay.
Because it's almost like the NFL back in the day, it almost feels like if you would have got a marquee quarterback could fill in a lot of voids.
Right.
Whereas now it kind of feels like you got to fill in those voids first.
And then
like, look at the Houston Texans. For years, They were building around defense and running. They had Andre Johnson for a number of years, and then they finally get a fucking quarterback in Deshaun Watson.
Right.
And he was the last piece of the puzzle. Had he stayed healthy, they would have made the playoffs. They would have made a night. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Eagles. They had decent quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Carson Wentz has been their first guy that was that picked high, highly touted in a small school and in the big scouting.
Yeah.
He was a big scout find. You know what I'm saying? You plug him in here, he's gonna be great. Same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I mean? The Niners were trash for a while. But I mean, you plugged him in there, and that's the one thing all these scouts used to say about Jimmy Garoppolo when he was watching, when he was backing up Tom Brady and when he was injured or for Deflategate, whatever. They were like, yo, the tape is there. He can ball. He can ball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It seems, here's what I think we might be seeing a shift away from. The Jags had to, I was reading some Barnwell article. I didn't read it all because it's just too many words. But he basically said the Jags had picked up the fifth-year option on Blake Bortles last year. This is coming up as his fifth year. So this is the year they had already extended, and they guaranteed it for injury. You can guarantee a contract for performance or for injury. Guaranteeing it for injury means even if he's hurt, you still got to pay him. And he's got this wrist problem that's he needed surgery last year, and now they're not sure about it, but they got to pay him regardless. So they extended him to lesser the cap impact this year. It's my understanding. Oh. And they're spreading it out, basically 2 years guaranteed, third year not so much. I think it's something like that.
So now I have some. If I'm Coughlin, I thought Coughlin was going senile. So now I have the opportunity. If I'm Coughlin, I have a little bit more room under the cap. Yeah. I can get a couple more pieces. I have this quarterback who can manage a game. I got to pay him anyway. Now maybe I can get somebody else or I can draft.
Now, we love Coughlin, but that was a mistake. I think last year you saw the writing on the walls, bringing it back to the Redskins. They never believed in Cousins for whatever reason. They were sold on RG3. Dan Gilbert, what's his name? Dan Snyder, sold on RG3, never really believed in Kirk Cousins, and neither did whoever else was in the front office. So when they franchised him last year, we all kind of knew he's gone. Somebody's going to trade for him, we thought the Niners, or a free agency. They're not going to give him another franchise tag because it'd be $40 million. And nobody's going to sign him long-term. They don't want to sign him long-term, so he's gone. I don't know. They just don't believe in him. He doesn't seem as good as Tony Romo, but when I was a Cowboy fan watching Tony Romo, I bagged on him. And then the one year he finally had a good line and a good run game, I was like, oh, this is what football guys have been saying this whole time.
Romo, yeah.
Kirk Cousins isn't that good, but I kind of feel that way about Cousins. If you put a great team around him,
good.
The Jags would have been a fucking problem with Kirk Cousins.
Facts.
The Vikings, now here's the issue. This is what we're talking about, teams maybe moving away from. I think teams are more hesitant to allocate that much percentage of your salary cap to a QB.
Right.
Kirk Cousins is going to eat up a huge percentage of your salary cap. So then you can't pay all these other players, and then the team suffers, and then what do you do?
Okay,
that's the conundrum.
Maybe we're going to watch in our lifetimes the quarterback position not be the most the highest paid position on the team.
Yeah, or just not by that much. You're going to be right, a slight notch above D end and left tackle and whoever.
I mean,
else.
it's starting,
or a corner,
man.
right?
It started, bro. Fucking
corners.
Before Odell got hurt, he was like, I want to be the highest paid player in the NFL, regardless of position.
Yeah.
And had he not gotten hurt, he might have been.
Wow.
Even for a season or two, he might have been.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see how these people are getting paid now. Every year, somebody different. Right now, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Next year, when Aaron Rodgers' deal is up, he's gonna be the highest paid guy. Then it's gonna be fucking Breeze. Then it's gonna be somebody. You think Aaron Rodgers to leave?
I think he should leave Green Bay. Yeah.
Why should he leave Green Bay?
He's a god there. He'll never leave.
I don't think that they'll ever put the team that he needs around him.
I mean, he's the team.
I know, but he's been dealing with scraps, man. Go somewhere where you have a real chance.
He's had some talent.
He's had some talent. I mean, he's had some offensive talent.
Who?
I mean,
Jordy Nelson?
Jordy Nelson's pretty good. What's his face? The fucking
Cobb?
Randall Cobb. There you go. The scatback dude.
Yeah, all right.
They had Greg Jennings for a bit. He was nice.
He's had some
they need a
decent
running back.
Yeah.
I mean, they were taking the receiver and they were making him a running back.
Yeah,
I forget
his
Ty
name.
Montgomery or something like that.
Yeah.
They need a running game for sure.
You have arguably the best quarterback in the game, arguably. I mean, Tom may, but you have up there one of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah.
And
they need a
you have
Saints-like
receiver
draft.
Playing running back.
They need a draft like the Saints had. The offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year. Studs.
Jeez.
The Saints had a
How
fuck.
lucky could you get?
That's right.
And now, and again, these players on rookie contracts are super cheap, and you got them for 3-4 years, locked up 4 years.
Right.
Now you can give a ton of money to your quarterback and not have to worry about it. because these guys don't get paid for 4 years.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a soccer fan is listening right now. They don't understand the idea of a salary cap. Yes.
Just give him $100 million.
Yeah, just pay him
or
$600 million.
whatever the
Like,
fuck.
dude, when you look at these deals for soccer, it's just so good. That shit seems way more like slavery. I was
Yo.
like, Ronaldo was purchased by Paris Saint-Germain for $500 million. Did he say he wanted to go? It doesn't matter if he
Even more
wanted to
so,
go.
it's
He has to.
Even more so, it's just I was just asking my best friend's a big soccer fan. Shouts to Pete. He was saying like the teams exchange all this money, but soccer players like the top end are making like $10 million a year for like
No,
the
that's not true.
top end talent.
That's not true. That's not true. They're the highest paid players in the world.
Really?
Yeah. That's
That's
not true.
without
It's-
ads.
But again, you are right because the team has the rights to a player. So so let's say the player is a $300 million contract, and I believe this is true. Someone correct us, assholes. Correct us if we fucking up. But
I feel like Messi makes around that, right?
oh, they're making stupid money, right?
Yeah.
But let's say Messi's contract is for $300 million, and then a team in Paris is like, "Yo, we want him. We'll pay you $400 million." And you'll give us. Now, he's going to still make that $300 million contract on this new team, only that you have to pay $100 million just as a fee to the original club he was with. Maybe Messi gets part of that. But the funny thing to me is like, they don't have any say. Like, imagine.
That's weird.
Imagine
know
right
that.
now, LeBron, the Cavs just traded LeBron to some team in Turkey. Right? And like LeBron would be like, I'm not going to fucking Turkey. And they'll be like, yeah, sorry, they gave us
Yeah, they
$400
gotta do
million.
it.
You gotta
Yeah.
go play basketball in Turkey now. Like
see,
you
no,
go to another country. That's insane.
There's a small part of me that kind of wish the NBA was like that. Because who would be able to afford LeBron? The Knicks.
That's
the Knicks would be
true.
like, they'd be like, you know what? We're just gonna pay $500 million to LeBron James
Every year.
They'd be
Done.
like, all right, fuck it. I mean, what are we gonna do? All right, we'll take him.
But it is wild, right? The idea
Yeah.
that like in Europe you go to a different country. I wonder if you have any say. Hey, assholes that are listening right now, please
Let us
know
know.
if you have any say in soccer in terms of what team you go. If you can refute the trade, if you can say you don't want to just plain live there.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. That's my understanding too. Is that you can say like, I don't want to be here, but that's about it.
Right.
Which I think kind of similar to football or whatever. Like you can't.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Let's get out of football.
Let's talk Deontay Wilder.
Oh my God! Did you guys see the fight? Some
What a
great
fight.
fights this weekend.
Good
did not
fight.
see the
It's
fights.
a good fight, man.
So Deontay Wilder is the heavyweight champion of the world. He just beat Luis Ortiz, who's this Cuban guy who's been, doping and cheating for years. And finally, they ended up fighting. And Wilder, really demolished him in the 10th round, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest with you, and I've met Deontay Wilder. He's a really nice guy. He is not the most skilled heavyweight.
No.
And I'll tell you what is happening right now. What we're witnessing is the heavyweight. Like if Lennox Lewis was going up against Deontay Wilder in this current form, he's knocking him out within 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And because Lewis was a elite athlete and also a technician.
Yeah.
And I think what Deontay is an elite athlete. And I think what the heavyweight division is missing
Is a technician.
are elite athletes. So
Okay.
he's able to get away with
Yeah.
being the most elite athlete in his division around a bunch of other guys who decide not to be football players, basketball players, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like he looks the part, dude. Like it's
Looks
the
like
one
LeBron.
thing. The one thing that the one thing that's been missing from boxing is like
An exciting
an
heavyweight knockout
exciting
artist.
heavyweight American fighter.
American
You know
fighter.
what I mean?
Very
And
important you say that.
Extremely important. And like, every time he comes to the Barclays Center, it's sold out. The whole city's out there. Like for 2 years, I thought he was from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like I was
No,
fucking
he's a country
shocked.
kid. He's from
Yeah, he's from like
Mississippi
Alabama or something.
Alabama or something
Yeah,
like that.
I'm like he's from Brooklyn. Something? I don't know. But nah, he looks the part. He knocks motherfuckers out. Like they aren't boring fights when he
Nope.
fights.
He's swinging.
And he swings for the fences, dude. Like
Technique is trash.
there was a couple of rounds where like I thought that he was, gonna either lose the decision or
Right.
he was out on his feet or whatever, but like he showed a lot of heart, and then that 10th round he just came out fucking wailing.
Did you have him losing the fight going into the 10th?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Like, there was like 3 rounds in there where Ortiz just looked like he was just tagging him, and he was
'Cause
just out on his feet.
So Ortiz is a Cuban fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cubans arguably are the best technicians in the game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, boxing is one of the few sports that they have over there. It's probably like boxing, soccer, baseball. But that's it. But it's like just part of the culture, right? And they make these amazing fighters. Guillermo Rigondeaux, who just recently lost to the Vasily Lomachenko, but just an amazing technician. And but just the reality of the matter is, even an amazing technician at heavyweight, and this is what's so amazing about heavyweights, when you have these guys that are 130 pounds, the punches don't hurt enough. Like, yeah, they're knockouts.
Yeah, they're
but
just
they don't,
points.
But they don't
They're just
hurt.
points.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They don't hurt enough to really change the fight, right? Some guys have that kind of power, but in reality is like you can take those kind of punches. At heavyweight, everything changes.
Yep.
At over 200 pounds, when you get hit with a wild, goofy punch, it's lights out,
yeah.
dog.
It hurts.
It's lights the fuck out.
It's like every heavyweight fighter has a home run in them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you could survive, like, it's like a baseball game where, like, a team has a great pitching staff and, like, you're down 1-0 and, like, one hit.
Yep.
And literally all you need is one person to just smack a home run and it's a game again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Wilder did, essentially. Like, he was in my scorecard and a lot of other people's scorecards, like, he was down going into that 10th round.
Right.
And it was like somebody told him, like, hey, you're losing.
Step it up.
You might as well just unload the clip. And he did.
Yeah.
And he knocked the shit out of him. It was a great fight. It was fun to watch.
I think he's got elite athleticism and elite cardio. Like, what people don't realize is when you swing, like he swung in that 10th round, and go watch the clip. And I used to box. It is so fucking wildly exhausting. It also costs way more energy to miss a punch than to hit.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. Like, when you connect,
Takes
something's stopping your hand. When you don't, you got to bring that hand all the way fucking back. It takes way more energy. To swing like that consistently for the whole round, elite athleticism, elite cardio.
Yeah.
And that's what he's coasting on. Now, the question is,
Anthony Joshua. Yeah.
will
I was
he...
just about to ask about it. I saw him fight Klitschko.
Yeah.
And that boy was nice.
Yeah.
That's the question is, when you run into someone who also has elite athleticism, elite cardio, and he also has
Technical skill.
and technique,
Yeah.
what happens? And technique should take you over the hump. It should. But this guy Wilder, he's got something.
I'm not the biggest boxing head, but from what I've read, you know what I mean, the first thing people are saying is like, yo, he's not ready for Joshua. Like, not after that fight. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Like, I could never bet against somebody with that type of power to just kind of like change an entire fight with one hit. So
we love this shit.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm ready to see it. Like, I don't know if that's gonna be his next fight, but when they do throw down, man, it'll be an exciting time for boxing again.
You know what's interesting to me about boxing, and maybe it makes sense. I don't know, but like, when does a boxer hit his prime? It seems like 30, 33, 34 even.
It's a great question. It really, I think prime is decided by the level of fight, right? Like, a boxer's real prime is probably in his like mid to late 20s, but he doesn't see these big money fights until he's in his mid 30s.
Well, that's what's interesting. So, how old was Canelo when Floyd fought him?
20.
Yeah, he was a kid.
21,
yeah,
22.
Okay, so he was
23.
super young. He was
young,
dumb young.
yeah.
So, because I remember Sergio Chacon, friend of ours, comic, funny dude, boxer.
Yep.
He was saying Floyd is very smart. He takes his fight now because Canelo's not ready.
I mean, he took the fight now. Floyd, this is the
Floyd could still probably beat Canelo, but he definitely took
Floyd
it.
beats Canelo whenever he wants.
Right.
So, but the guys who don't like Floyd have the same argument, which is, oh, he didn't fight. He fought him when he was past his prime. He fought him before his prime.
Well, for the record, this is before the fight, and he didn't sound like he was trying to knock Floyd. He's like, Floyd should win. Like, Floyd's gonna win.
Right.
This is what's really brilliant about, and that is a smart move. You could still beat him, but like, why not fight him when there's big money there?
Floyd's not talking to anybody. Floyd is taking the biggest money fight. And that's what he's always done, and that's what he should do because this is prize fighting, and you fight for the biggest prize. And at the point in time, Canelo was the biggest money fight for Floyd, and I was at that fight live, and he utterly embarrassed.
Oh, it was the most impressed I've ever been with Floyd. Like, just.
And
I don't know much boxing, but I was watching him, and I was like, whatever the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
It's mastery.
Master class.
That's like watching. Like, I've never been like a big boxing dude. My biggest interest in boxing came in like the Tyson years, the Roy Jones years, where like, you know, or Zab Judah, those guys. Watching Floyd makes me appreciate the art of boxing so much more because it's like, yo, you're just watching. It's like, yo, how is he doing this?
Do you believe he doesn't ever watch tape? He just figures it out when he's in there?
No.
He's got to watch tape, no?
He always says that.
Floyd's whole thing is, I don't watch tape. I eat McDonald's every day. I'm at the strip club until 2 a.m. This is probably the greatest athlete of our generation, not only in terms of what he does in the ring, but his preparation outside of it. And everything he does, he takes incredibly seriously. And if you want to know about it, ask the people who he did Dancing with the Stars with.
How was that?
Like, apparently, he took that dancing shit serious while he was training for another fight. I think he was fighting Pacquiao or something was happening. He was training for a boxing match. I forget who. But, like, my man was in the gym. He's working out. He's practicing. He's practicing on his own time. He's not...
Well, he always is at his fighting weight. Like, most of these other boxers, from what I understand, they'll just go kind of... When they're off, they'll gain weight, whatever. Then when it's time to train, they train.
pounds or something stupid like that, yeah.
But, yeah, and he's always at his training weight. Now, what I forgot to finish the point about when is a boxer in his prime. To see Floyd do that to Canelo at 36, maybe that's just Floyd. But it seems like boxers' prime is later. And maybe it's just a product of they don't get the big money fights when they're young. But to hold on at 36 and be that good at 36...
Maybe I think it's because boxing, to your point, probably because boxing is more of a cerebral sport than we give it credit for.
That's what I was thinking.
So here's the thing.
And in most pro sports.
Agreed. Okay.
In most pro sports,
that's what I was trying to get.
You get better mentally. Like you watch Jordan in his later years. He's not trying to dunk over everybody.
Right.
It's like you're watching somebody dance. It's like you're watching them do dance steps, and he's just going through the motions, and you know he's going to go to that spot.
LeBron
but you
now
can't stop him.
So the one
LeBron,
difference
Kobe,
is
all these guys.
Boxing, you age in terms of punishment, not in terms of years. Whereas, and that happens a little bit in basketball, you know, like guys who play a lot of playoff seasons and everything like that. It took them apart. But in boxing specifically, once you start getting knocked out, your chin kind of goes, and it's hard for you to compete. The thing about Floyd is he has gotten hurt 5 times in his career total. Talking about 50 fights. We can name 5 different times.
Only time I've ever seen him hurt, I think, was with Shane Mosley.
I mean, there's a few. Zab Judah actually dropped him, but it didn't get called a knockdown, but his glove touched the canvas. DeMarcus Corley caught him with a hook. He was susceptible to those southpaw right hooks. Mosley caught him. I think Castillo caught him in their first fight, and then maybe there was one more. I mean, we're talking about in his entire career.
We're talking about 49 pro fights.
In a fight, when you think about boxing, right? In order for you to have an advantage, you need to stay in the punching zone. So we're talking about centimeters of distance. Floyd is standing in front of you, centimeters of distance. He managed to go 50 fights and got hit hard 5 times. Yeah. Maidana was the other guy who hit him.
That was.
Maidana hit him. So, but just if you think about how remarkable that is, I mean, this is the sport. Like when you look at MMA, right? Like all these guys have losses and that kind of shit like that because the real elite athletes haven't entered the sport yet. Yeah. Right. So it's like, but they have losses. They got clipped. You know, like the Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
I mean, they have elite athletes in there, but it's. I
would say like John Jones was the first.
John Jones was probably the best athlete. He was the first elite. Silva. Yeah.
Silva, another elite athlete. Yeah. But John Jones.
I would even throw McGregor in there too.
No.
You wouldn't throw McGregor in there as an elite athlete? His cardio?
I don't think his cardio is good enough.
I think his cardio is really good.
No, that's the thing that hurts him.
Really?
Yeah, I mean Nate Diaz.
I thought of the Diaz. Nate
Diaz exposed him with the cardio, and then all his other fights, he just never went long enough for the cardio to become an issue. But I just don't think he's a great puncher and he's got great reflexes, but I don't know if he's an elite athlete. Like when you look at John Jones, like John Jones could have played football.
Yeah, like if he applied himself in any other sport. Like you could see him succeeding in that.
Right, like we're looking at elite, like, I mean, even Daniel Cormier, right? Like,
yeah, he was an Olympic wrestler.
Olympic wrestler, right? Yeah. You know, so there's a couple guys that are elite, but you look at MMA, and it's a guy who was like the 5th wrestler. Like he didn't even win gold. Like he was 5th place, and then he becomes the best.
Who else was in MMA? Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Herschel
he did
Walker
a fight
was
at like 40.
Yeah, but he went at 40 and he was fucking whipping people's asses. Like,
My point.
It's like, yo, if he would have did this at like 20, he could have been one of the greatest of all time.
That's an elite.
Yeah.
That's a different. And then more athletes will eventually come to the sport. But that's why, like, with the women, as a matter of fact, I just saw Ronda Rousey in Columbus, Ohio, when I was at the Arnold.
Oh,
It's just
nice.
Like, yeah, and she was just like at like a protein shake booth, shaking hands. How the mighty have fallen.
Oh God! Hey,
Bro.
listen. She's at WrestleMania this year, all right, man.
She
She's-
needs it, dog. 'Cause she was selling,
Hey, Ronda, time's
Zoom
up.
Boost Zero.
Yo, can we talk about that for a little
Talk
bit,
to me,
man? Oh, man, I
What,
obviously
these hoes tripping?
I'm a huge WWE fan.
All right.
And I'm a probably not equally, but I'm just as big of a fan as mixed martial arts, whatever. And it's kind of weird because when you see Ronda now in the WWE,
Yeah.
her current storyline is like, I guess the first time she was introduced to the WWE was like a couple WrestleManias ago. She was in the crowd with The Rock and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, and like The Rock goes, and I guess like Stephanie McMahon slaps The Rock, and he's not gonna slap her back, and then Ronda Rousey just happens to be in the crowd,
Bang.
pulls her out in the crowd, bing bang boom, big moment, whatever, right? So I guess the storyline now is, this is revenge for all those years back there for like embarrassing him or whatever. But if you watched her first promo, the promos when you're like, talking shit, whatever, like. She still looks like a deer in the headlights about not like it's almost like
She lost her confidence.
she
dog.
lost her confidence.
She got Markel Fultz.
And yeah,
Yo, son.
and I'm not sure if it's on purpose or not, because like I don't know if it's because there was a certain part where like she got slapped again and she turned it on. She did that straight Ronda Rousey like trot to the ring that she used to do in the UFC or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like maybe she still got that. But like it was weird to see because I'm not sure if we're getting the same Ronda that we wanted when she was Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean?
Bro. She getting a shell-shocked version,
It's
dog.
actually
Yeah.
sad, man. It's
It
really
is a
sad.
little sad. It is a little sad.
Yeah, it's like they say. I was reading this book called it's this new Jordan Peterson book. I forget the name, but he was talking about like lobsters, and what happens is like when a lobster has a fight and actually loses it, like lobsters are very territorial. They're like just like us, but when they lose it, they're never the same again. Like they're pussy after
Ronda's
that.
a
Son,
lobster.
she a lobster, son. Someone clipped her claws, yo. When a lobster fights another lobster and loses, another lobster could come press it, and it just backs up. It becomes this beta male cuck, and that's the confidence that she has right now.
But like
dude.
she knows this is predetermined, right? Like she
Damn.
and that's the thing. She
But
knows
we know
like
she can't fight.
She grew up.
And I think that's what she feels like. I think she feels like everybody. And I don't know anything about fighting. I really do feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But like, I think
I
she's
really
like,
don't.
No, I didn't.
I don't feel
She
bad.
was talking
'cause
a lot of
she's-
shit, but I
she
do
talked
feel bad.
mad
I
shit,
didn't want.
B.
I didn't want to feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yo, this girl is broken, dog.
That's
This girl is
son,
broken.
She said she could beat up Floyd.
That really is what
That
offended
shit
you.
bothered me.
Yeah, your top lip was
Because
quivering like this.
these motherfucking MMA guys put some respect on Floyd. Come on
like,
now, son.
I remember when she was like just breaking bitches' arms with arm bars.
All
and,
those
like,
girls work at Home
and tell
Depot.
them
It
to
wasn't
cry,
real
like,
girl. Like
yeah,
no
like-
girls that they're like 5 girls
People who
in
knew
MMA.
you like really knew MMA. When the second fight, especially, were like Ronda's gonna get her ass beat. The second
Yeah.
fight, she lost.
Because the girls there are only 5 girls in MMA that's their full-time job. Most of these girls are babysitters. They work in nail salons and shit like that.
they're not.
Fam, I'm telling you.
like-
There's like 5 of them. The rest of them have other jobs that the construction workers. The one girl on the construction worker site.
I read somewhere the one girl.
The
I
Shaquem
read
Griffin
somewhere
of the construction sites.
who's the heavyweight champ?
How are they doing this?
Stipe Miocic,
Yeah,
or whatever.
Miocic, yeah.
He works construction on the side, doesn't he? And he's the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
My man
Men.
is Cleveland to his core. son.
Yeah.
That is some working class shit.
Facts.
But he don't need to.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I hope
Nah,
he
he
doesn't
getting
need
paid.
to.
Nah, he
I
getting
really hope he doesn't need to. But now, like seeing Ronda like kind of be this, kind of like pretend to be a badass now.
So that's the thing.
It's weird. It's like
I think this was a horrible move by WWE. And I'll say this. I'll say this.
Okay,
and
let
then
me
you
hear
tell
you.
me what you think.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the point of WWE, the illusion is these guys are so big that they could really fight.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you see a massive dude, and some of them actually have some wrestling background, so you start going, yo, these guys could actually fuck somebody
Yeah.
up. I mean, I know this is scripted and fun, but look how big Triple H
Exactly.
is. He could murder somebody if he wanted to. Andre the Giant's massive. He could destroy somebody. Look,
And
Hulk
they are
Hogan.
objectively great athletes.
Dude,
Yeah,
and
you
then-
know who got a lot of shit for saying that? Fucking Batista. Batista, he plays dude
in
in Guardians of the Galaxy. He
Right.
plays
He was
you know,
hilarious.
Drax the Destroyer.
Drax, yeah.
And he was just like, you know, back when I was growing up, pro wrestling was just like big hulking dude. Like you have to give me the illusion of okay, this might be fake, but this guy could really fuck
That's
me
what
up.
I'm saying.
if
So
wanted
he
to.
could really
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
somebody up, right? And the reason why, what is it?
Smart?
Yeah. So the reason why it doesn't work for Ronda is because the illusion is gone.
Yeah.
We know she can't fuck anybody up. She
Everybody.
Can't
She can fuck up a lot of people.
Son, she can't fuck up girls. She's not gonna fuck up Triple H. Let's keep it funky,
But
bro.
she's not
Like,
gonna
She's
fight.
not gonna
She
fight
can fuck
Triple
girls.
H.
she
She's gonna fight
body
girls.
slammed my man into the
Yeah.
fucking. The first thing she picked him up and broke him into a table.
Yes.
You know how quickly he would slap her little fucking hand out, just break her in two if he wanted
It was,
to.
well, here's the thing with the
What's
whole
Brock Lesnar? The beautiful thing
Bro-
about
yeah,
Brock
yeah.
Lesnar is my man was a wrestler, went into the MMA shit, and was fucking dudes
Yeah,
up. So when he
yeah.
came back
that's
to
another
WWE
elite athlete that was in the UFC.
he's an elite athlete.
Yeah.
Now, when he came back to WWE, we believe this motherfucker more.
Yeah.
He went and did the real shit. So now every time he talks trash to somebody,
So it's a weird backwards thing because I almost feel like if Ronda Rousey would have started in the WWE
we'd be good.
and then went to UFC and then came back, perfectly
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what Brock Lesnar did. Brock Lesnar started. He started in the NCAA,
Right.
like legit #1 wrestler in the
wrestler.
country. Went to WWE, did that. Went to the NFL. Almost made the
Little
fucking
Viking tryout,
Vikings.
I saw that,
He was like the
yeah.
last cut on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Never played football in his fucking life. Went to the UFC, dominates, loses. He has like a disease, like a blood something, like
Yeah, yeah.
diverticulitis. I don't know, some shit.
Yeah.
But he was like, all right, I'll go back to WWE. Like, that's the show. It's like, I've seen you be the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. You can fuck up. I could count on my one hand how many matches Brock Lesnar has lost in the past, like,
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
Fam, she's
You know
Milli
what I'm saying?
Vanilli.
I
We
don't-
thought she was doing it,
But
and
here's-
it turns out she's not singing, dog.
Here's the thing. They're gonna have her wrestle other women. They're gonna make her the female
course.
Brock Lesnar.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Can't wait to watch that.
It's still gonna be. It's still gonna
No,
be
but
a
there's
good
a
deal.
women's wrestling is a thing now, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Ric
yeah,
Flair's
yeah.
daughter was like the champion for a
Yeah,
bit.
she's a champion right now.
There's two
Actually.
twins doing it.
Yeah,
Saw them
yeah.
on some show.
I mean, the Bella twins and I forgot who's
She's not hot enough, bro.
all these people.
You need to be hot if you're gonna be do something worse than the men. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to make up for your lack of skill with attractiveness. Like there's a reason why female
There's a lot of
volleyball-
people that find Ronda Rousey attractive.
No.
I'm not one of them,
No.
but
Yeah,
There's a
there are
reason
a
why
lot.
female volleyball players got their fucking ass cheeks showing the whole time.
shorts.
Because why would I watch shittier volleyball? Oh, you're gonna show me titties and ass? There's gonna be some Venezuelan chicks with fucking cakes
Yeah,
out
I'm
there.
definitely
Yeah,
not touching that.
I'll
one.
watch that.
No.
But I'm not gonna watch shittier volleyball if you don't give me another reason. This is true with every female sport. It's the reason why nobody watches WNBAs. They're not cute. If they were, look at tennis. Female tennis stars are pretty attractive.
They are, but I mean,
And they put them in little skirts. You see, Serena's a mom. She gonna have her butt cheeks hanging out of the fucking thing? No. Let her wear some tights if she wants
did
to.
before. And it was great. But no, I mean, like she's coming in at a good time where like women's wrestling isn't like the bathroom break like it used to be.
Right, now
like
it's
when they
popping.
now it's like they got actual athletes like female wrestlers. Like they've actually put together like good compelling matches that are comparable to the men. Like there's still like maybe one to maybe every like 3 or 4 great men's match. You might see 1 or 2 great women's matches. But like before it used to be none. It used to be like
Right.
a pillow fight or a lingerie fucking mud bowl match or, you know, bra panties match and shit, whatever. It used to be degrading, whatever. I loved it. I was a teenager. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But like, you know, now she's coming in at a time where there's actual athletes that are competing like the men. And I think she'll do well. I think it's a good signing for the WWE. I think it gives their women's division some legitimacy to people who, you know, if I got to convince somebody on women's wrestling, it's like, oh, you know Ronda Rousey, she's there. So it gives them like a certain type of legitimacy that I didn't have before. So from that point of view, it's a good look for the WWE. I'm not sure if it's a good look for her.
Yeah, I just hope she's ready.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, she got to bring it with the personality, man. She really got.
Yeah, she does, and that's what drew us in at first. Like when she was making people tap out in like the first round or whatever, she was talking wild shit.
And women needed that.
And women needed that.
Women want to see a girl fucking shit up and being like, "Yo, women can do anything," etc. It was important.
Yeah.
That was her. She was the women's Black Panther.
And they still and they can't take that away from her. Like
she did a great job.
She had a great run.
She
at
just
that.
wasn't the real
Who's
deal.
that
man.
motherfucker? Who's the bad guy from the Avengers, the new one?
Thanos.
Thanos done showed up.
Yeah, Thanos did showing up, son. Yo,
Came with them
talk.
Infinity Stones.
Yo, facts.
Punched the fuck out of Tony Stark. You saw that clip. Not even with the gem hand. He came with the regular hand, like, hold this. I was like, damn, Tony, it's a wrap. I'm not ready for Infinity War, dog.
That's gonna be 2 movies, bro. You
I
got
know.
to spread it out. We'll
I'm
be
not
all right.
ready.
2
They're
movies?
all gonna die, dog. They're all gonna die.
Black Panther
All
ain't
your
dying. I'll
favorites.
tell you that right now.
Black Panther's not dying.
Black people, be alright. Black
y'all be
Panther ain't
alright.
dying. This is the one movie y'all gonna survive.
Like Black Panther's not dying.
It would be funny if they killed Black Panther first. So that should be hilarious. Oh fuck! Jokes on you.
Y'all thought, motherfucker.
Oh
But no, I think Black Panther lives. Spider-Man lives.
Captain America gonna get got. I'm not
Captain
ready.
America's
fine with that.
done.
That motherfucker need to die.
I haven't seen
America's
Civil War. The
gone.
first Captain America I hated. Second one I liked, but I just
The
don't
second
like
and
seeing.
third one was fire. Like Winter Soldier and Civil
Second
War
and third
were
one
fire.
were much better.
I heard Civil
than
War's
one.
dope. I just haven't watched it.
Civil War was pretty good.
Um,
Second tier Marvel
I
movie.
think
I would put.
Iron Man's out of here.
Tony had a good run. Baby.
He had a great run, dog. He's the OG. He had to go.
He
gotta
was,
go.
he was the man.
Somebody showed me some YouTube clip of them doing this like picture of all the Marvel stars, like all the superheroes. Tony Stark is in front and fucking center.
Yeah.
but
And he should be.
Yeah, yeah.
But like the power that's behind him, the star power, fucking Paul Rudd is just sitting there somewhere off on the side.
He launched $1 billion
Yeah, he did. And he deserves
film
it.
franchise.
He deserves it. It just
Yeah.
really put into perspective, like, they showed all the stars. I forget.
He's
just
LeBron,
name
son.
after name after
Yeah.
name. But this motherfucker, and it, again, deserves it. But you're looking at this guy front and center, you're like, yo, you did it, fam.
Dog. And
He's-
remember,
he's
dog,
the
he was
most underpaid.
down
Done.
and fucking out
Yeah.
before Iron Man, dog. Like he was
he had a rough one.
And to
strong-
Jon Favreau's credit, apparently much bigger names wanted to do it. I don't know if it's true. I heard this from a friend, but he was like, "Nah, it's Robert Downey Jr. is the guy."
Yeah. And
He's the one
like
that'll
if
do
you
that.
watch like Iron Man cartoons, like they look similar. You
Really?
know, like it's one of those things like you can't picture anybody else playing.
He's just charismatic as
Yeah.
a motherfucker,
Yeah.
man. Like
Absolutely.
he's great, and he's underpaid, man. I think he's getting $50 million a movie, but when you think about it, like he's the main character.
Yeah.
He is the
LeBron.
superstar
he's the
athlete.
he's the
he is
central
the LeBron.
focus of every movie.
Exactly.
Like it all comes back to
And it's gonna make $1 billion, and he only gonna get 50. That's a deal, bro.
Yeah.
Because when you think about some of these movies that make 200 million, right, and they're paying Denzel 20. That's 10% of the budget, right?
Yeah.
If you make $1 billion, what's 10% of that?
That's probably why they're killing them off.
I'm making too much. You gotta
that's probably why they
go.
show Thanos beating his ass in
Yo,
the
real
commercial. They're
talk.
like,
This is for
like,
that last
"Get ready,
contract
dog."
negotiation. Bang!
About to break his fucking face. It's a wrap. But yeah,
Oh, hey, are we still doing this March Madness thing?
we should.
Oh
We
yeah, what
should,
is this?
man.
You guys were texting. I was
I
doing
mean, I'm
something.
still trying
I
to
was
put it
being
together,
sad.
but I wanna. I'm
going
trying to
on,
put it
Doug?
together,
You
man.
wanna
Let's play hooky, guys. Let's get the assholes together
Okay.
on the first day of the NCAA tournament, one of the greatest sports days of the year. Starts in the
I
middle
know
of the day.
nothing about college basketball this year.
I really.
You don't need to. That's
I
the
don't
beauty
give a
of it.
I'm gonna try to watch these conference tourneys in Sports Center for. I'm gonna binge watch Sports Center for 2 weeks and see
Fam,
what's going
all
on.
I know is you can't miss a last second shot
Yeah.
from now until April.
Yeah.
Every single one goes in.
Like
Have
the
you guys
game
seen a
sliders are
single
all
one?
the way up.
That's
I'll
like,
say
all
this.
it is, son. It's like
Sports Center for the next 3 months is gonna be like 3, 2,
just throwing it, bro.
This is what makes
Cash.
college basketball exciting this time of year, and it's because they're not as good as pros. None of these guys can hold the lead.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
lead is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No lead is safe.
Yeah.
Number 15 is up on the number 15 seed is down to the number 2 seed by 38. It's not over.
Yeah. I mean, any team that could full court press you is still in the fucking game.
Every 12 seed beats every 5 seed. It's the weirdest
Can't
fucking
even
thing.
bring the ball up
They
the
can't
court.
get the
And
ball
y'all want
past
to get
half.
paid? Suck a dick. Get the ball up half court, bum. Y'all want $1 million.
Nah,
Fuck
but
outta
this is
here.
my idea, man. I think we should take over a bar.
What day?
The first day of the NCAA tournament.
That's
Which
a
is what?
Thursday,
That's
right?
a Thursday.
It's gonna be Thursday, March 12th, probably March 19th. One of those
Yeah,
two.
from
Outta
12 to like
town, B.
fucking. Oh, you motherfucker.
Hey, Alex, can you look this up exactly when March?
Let's
Madness
find the
I'm
exact
looking.
date.
Yeah,
but when we figure this out, we're gonna take over a bar. We're gonna fucking see how many people can get to fucking play hooky, or just go. Because you're not doing work anyway. Like the first day of the tournament, like you're not really paying attention.
Pull up.
You're on your laptop.
Should we fill out brackets even
Filling
though
out
we don't know
brackets.
shit? It's all luck to me.
Of course you fill out a bracket.
It starts
Tuesday. No, Tuesday's the
That's the
playing
playing
game.
game. That don't count. The actual
So
tournament.
it's gonna be that Thursday.
Yeah.
So Tuesday to what?
I think
Tuesday
it
to
starts
Thursday the 15th.
Thursday the 15th. Sure.
Is that
Probably the
right?
First day. It's probably the first day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do the 15th. So yeah, we'll pick a bar. We'll let you guys know, and if you guys want to just pull up, we'll watch the game together,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You know, maybe we could shout to somebody,
Get some beers.
some little beer deals.
I'm
or
having Mad
something like
Shirley
that.
Temples on deck.
Got him.
Your boy.
You know how that shit go.
All right. We'll give you more details in the coming weeks about that.
More live shit. More live shit.
Yeah, because we want to do this live shit. That's really what it comes down. I
Absolutely.
want to have a moment celebrating flagrancy this week. You know, obviously Flagrant 2, we got to celebrate those people who are out there keeping it extra flagrant. Lane Kiffin, who is the head football coach for FAU, Florida Atlantic University, he said that he looks at his assistants' wives to see how good at recruiting they are. This motherfucker is my favorite coach. I think we got to give him a little bit of a slow clap. Little. Woo! Y'all still listening or y'all tuned out during that?
Lane Kiffin been a fucking savage.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, this makes perfect sense.
Why so?
Because think about it, like, how you gonna get a 5-star recruit to join this football team if you can't even get
A 5-star recruit to join the family.
a 5-star recruit to join the family, bro? If you don't have 5-star females, it's a wrap. If you can't get pussy, you're not gonna get a talented young athlete to come to your school when there are better schools out there. You're
Yeah.
not the number one school. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? You're not the number one program. There are other schools that they want to go to. So he needs men who are overachieving in the pussy department on his team to prove to him, hey, they know how to get shit done. This shouldn't be done. And I respect it, man.
You know what? You know how you were just talking about, like, if you ask somebody a question in the scouting report,
Yeah.
and like there's no right answer, but they just like give you a way of getting to that.
Yeah.
That's how you know Lane Kiffin's a genius, though.
Lane got the job. Lane got
That's
the job.
how you know he got the fucking
That's
job,
it.
bro. It's like, what's the main goal?
Son.
To see if your coaches are competent in recruiting.
My man is the Donald Trump, LeVar Ball, whatever, of college football. Like, he just be out here.
Look,
Every
I don't
year,
know
Lane
enough-
Kiffin is in some shit.
I don't
and
know
we're all just
enough-
like, oh, that's just Lane Kiffin.
All I'm saying is, like, you could tell a lot about a dude based on his girl, man. It
Very
says
true.
a lot about you. It says a lot about your confidence, etc. You know?
Of course.
And
I quietly judge all my friends' girlfriends.
facts. If and I think I had a joke about this back in the day, but I forget. But like if your girlfriend's uglier than you, it's fucking sad, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like it's really a bad thing. Like when you see, I forget exactly what the joke. It was something about like when I see that on the street, I hope you're related. Like, I hope you're not in a relationship. That's your cousin, right? There's no reason you'd be walking down the
my
street with that
God.
ugly ass girl,
Yeah.
right? But if a girl's with a guy that's uglier, we assume the best about the
Yes.
guy. We assume he's wealthy, he's successful, he's got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy is with a girl that's uglier, we assume he has a small dick or he has some kind of like, lack of confidence that
Yeah.
puts him in a situation. But if a guy has a beautiful woman, I'm gonna justify it. I'm gonna find a way to justify it,
You got
and
to.
that's who he's looking for.
Yeah.
He's looking for guys who are overachieving, man.
I mean, for me, when I see a dude with a girl that is like completely out of his league, it kind of makes me think that the person is like good at whatever profession he's ever chosen in life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because it's like,
I just assume they're soccer players.
and what
If
other?
I don't know who you are, if I see guys with like super hot chicks and I don't
Yeah.
recognize them, I assume they're soccer players.
Facts, and they're just like regular looking dude. I mean, like, you know, most people that I see out of their league are like NBA guys. It's like you see somebody like 6'8" walking around with like some.
Nah, these
Gorgeous
basketball
looking
wives, I'm
joint.
always just like, really?
They're okay.
Yeah,
no,
right.
not the ones I've seen. Like, there's certain ones, like, maybe they're not married, but, like, that's their work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And of course, like you're an NBA player, so it's like the out of town work is usually better than what's at home because what's at home is it's for the family.
You gotta
and
be
the
ugly enough to
pictures
let
and
you
kids
cheat.
Exactly. She gotta be ugly enough to know like it ain't getting better than this. If I leave,
Ugly
what am I
enough to
gonna do?
let
A
you
start
cheat.
over?
That's
Fuck
facts,
that
bro.
shit.
That
Go
is
look
true.
again.
I've been
Yo.
dating 2 pretty girls. That's the problem. Girls expect me to be faithful with their pretty asses.
Oh man.
My homie said a funny thing. He said, "I'm gonna make a theory." He's like, "No, you know what? Let's call it a postulate." He goes, "If ever you see a girl walking down the street with her man, and you think, how did he get her? The answer is that bitch is crazy, and you want no part of that."
This is facts.
And bruh, that shit
This
stuck
is
with me
facts.
forever. It's the truest thing on earth.
This is
Man,
facts.
they're
dog.
all
Like,
crazy.
It's like
The ugly ones is crazy. The hot ones are crazy. You might as well get a hot one. It helps you deal with the
I was
crazy
actually
a
mad
little better.
offended when Alex a few weeks ago was like, "Yo, Kaz, the girl, you got a hell of a roster, son." Like,
Why are you
yeah,
offended?
I was offended because I'm like, "Dog, am I ugly, bro?" Like,
Son, that's the best compliment in the
Yeah.
world. The
Is
last
it?
thing you want is a guy to look at you and be like, "Yo, you deserve your girl."
Yeah, that's
That is
legitimately
insulting,
an insult.
son. Yo, whenever somebody says like y'all are perfect together, I'd be like,
Ew.
perfect?
Oh.
I'm supposed to be
Kidding
getting
me?
over on this bitch. What you talking about perfect? I won the negotiation. Ain't no perfect. Fuck perfect. Fuck soulmates.
I gotta look
You
lucky
don't sound
every time.
surprised when you see my girl.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be
That's a
shocked.
problem,
Yeah.
dog.
Should be
That's
shocked.
a problem.
Like every time, like you see a girl I'm with, you gotta be like, "Yeah, I know, I'm surprised too."
Yeah. Yo, he's packing. I want you to think about my dick length. I want you, first thing you think about is my dick length when you see girl.
I'm either rich or I got a big
That's
ass
it.
dick.
Something going on. Yo, Andrew got a new movie coming out. That's what I want you justifying it by my success. Ain't none of this perfect. Fuck
Oh
out
my
of here, bro.
gosh. It's wrong, but yes, we will judge you from your woman. Like I don't care what car you drive. I don't care how
You
much
tell
money
your
you
homie
make.
if you don't think her girl is cute, I won't. I'll hit her with the if you think she ugly, I'll hit her with the she
I'm
cute.
not gonna say.
Yo, she cute. Voice gets mad hot. Yo, she cute.
No, but
Will I
I'll
tell
say- I'll
my
say- I'll
boy?
I'll
I'll
lie.
stop
I'll
before
lie.
it gets there.
I'll lie.
I'll stop before it gets there.
Nah, I'm
Like,
Like,
I
oh,
won't let
that's
you
what's up.
wife. Nah. Like, it depends how he comes at me with it. Like, if he comes at me with it, like, yo,
Like,
look
she
at this
was good,
girl I'm
right?
hooking up with. I'll be like, she all right. I don't know. She, like, hold on. Nah, I don't know. I think I'll stop before it gets there, bro.
Nah, like,
but I'll
'cause
also
what-
look at my boy and be like, you know, like, he might be trash.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it depends where I see him.
that's true. Like some
So
of
you
some
rate
of
the
my
dude
friends are
before you
trash.
rate the
Exactly.
girl.
Yeah. I'll rate my boy and be like, nah, this is good for you. That's what you need. Or you could
Maybe
do
this will
better.
set you on a right path in
Yeah.
life because I know the shitty person you were
That's
going up to this.
what I'm saying.
I don't know. Like if she's bad, like it doesn't even have to be like we don't like what's understood doesn't even have to be explained.
It's
dog.
visceral.
Like we'll just both look at each other like yeah,
Yep.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
that's a girl. Like
This
yeah,
how you
like,
know. This how you know that she's bad. Your boy won't share the nudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how you know you got a bad one. If you're like, yo, send the nudes, and your boy's like, yo, chill, son. I actually kind of like this one a little bit.
Yeah,
Then
oh,
you're like,
yeah.
yo,
If
you
you-
better send them fucking nudes. You better put some little hearts over the nipples or some shit. Make that Instagram ready.
Nah, you can't share the nudes of wifey though. That's not.
That's all
like-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
That's how much he
disrespect.
cares about her.
That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
likes her
That's
how
so
much
much
he
he
cares
could
about
see it
her.
could
Facts.
potentially be wifey.
But if you alright, I mean, if we're just fun,
yeah.
that shit is hitting the group chat.
Oh, absolutely.
Just keep your face out of it. I keep the face out of it.
Really?
But, yeah, I keep the face out of it. You gotta keep the face out of it.
It depends. Like I'll look. I'm keep it 100. It depends. If I know that there's no future with this girl, it's just fun, whatever, like that. Yeah. Hey, man, check this out. I won't put it in a group chat, but you can look at it on my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna
exactly.
put her shit out there in the world. That's corny.
That First off, you
corny.
don't ever send
Come on, son.
someone else's nudes.
Come on, son.
Like if you here with me and I just
Come
put
on,
up.
Ahem. Ahem.
Look at old quiet over there, Alex.
Fucker over here.
This motherfucker, yo.
Don't you be editing nothing out this podcast, son. Don't you
Yo,
be
I
editing
can't
nothing
believe my
out
man
this
edited that shit. I didn't get to
motherfucking
comment on it.
Still, yo, you can
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right.
We gave him shit
You know
for
what?
last
Here's
week.
the difference. Here's the difference.
Yeah,
We just brought his shit into it, and he wasn't a part of this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I
Facts.
got it
It's
afterward.
unfair.
I was tight at first, but then I was like, you know what? We just brought it up. He's just sitting in the corner.
Yeah, he can't do shit.
So-
he was sitting in the corner asleep. Motherfucker passed out.
Yeah, I don't know how you caught that shit with all the sleep you were getting. I don't know how you heard it. Fuck.
Anyway,
with the shits, bro.
drop. Hey, dead your ugly girl. And it's different if like y'all got kids together. That's different because there's gonna be some wear.
Then she should be ugly.
You gotta send me some
think
old
moms,
photos.
Once
though.
she gives birth to your kids, she should be ugly.
You gotta
Get
send me
some
old
ugly.
photos though.
So
I gotta see like her in her prime.
Oh, absolutely. You
Before-
gotta know why you invested in the kid in the first place.
Yeah. No, but I have a friend whose baby mom's got like way better after kids, like way better looking.
They stayed together?
Yeah, they're still together, and like
The baby mama got better looking after kids.
This
Yeah.
cheating ass bitch.
This-
This cheating ass bitch. Bitch,
mean,
why
she-
you cheating, bitch?
She works hard. She works out and shit. Like
Cheating ass bitch.
she dropped that baby. And
This
like 8
bitch
weeks
a
later.
cheater,
Oh.
dog.
Oh
you
my
cheating
goodness
ass
That is
heifer.
foul. That is foul. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't. fuck with
Trifling
that shit.
ass
She was
bitch.
I don't like
fired,
that
dog.
shit, son.
Why?
Like that? Nah, it's like.
Why
nah,
can't
nah.
she want to? Why
Get
can't she want
better.
to get her
That's
glory
fine.
days
First
back?
of all, don't get better too soon. Like I don't like these moms that are like 2 hours after the pregnancy, they're like, got my body back.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you breastfeed, bitch?
Yeah.
Why don't you take care of that baby? Why you at the gym all fucking day? Kylie Jenner already posting pictures of her body back since she had the kid.
This bitch the worst.
I don't think
Son,
she had a baby.
Say what?
I don't even think she had.
She
a baby,
might have
dog.
not had the baby. That's
don't
an
think she had a
interesting
baby,
one because
dude.
we never really saw
Yeah,
her
she
pregnant.
was. Yeah. All of a sudden, you want privacy, bitch? Get the
Wow.
fuck out of my face, bitch. When you wanted privacy?
She was low key for a minute.
And when would
I'm
your
just-
mom ever let
I'm
you have
First
privacy?
of all, I'm just seeing the group chat. My bad.
Oh, yeah, you see it?
I was like, what are you laughing
Oh,
at? I looked
shit.
at this. I was like,
Oh yeah, shit was lit.
Oh, okay. Never mind, guys.
Liddy.
I was like, damn, did I miss a joke? I'm like,
missed
what's
some shit.
So that was a pretty
You
hard
might
one.
have done missed some shit.
Do you, Alex? Do you,
Hey
motherfucker?
man, hey, listen,
Hey,
fellas, I
man.
want you to remember, assholes out here keeping it tight. Just remember, there's no such thing as a girl that's too good for you.
Facts.
All right, and I never felt that way in my goddamn life. I never felt. Hey, if there's one dude
I
out
felt
there
that
who
way
can-
a lot.
listen,
Dog, I'm telling you, when we feel wilding out, I have never been so confident that I was every one of these girls was out of my league. I didn't even try
I don't even know
to
what you're talking about.
pretend that the notion existed that I had a
Listen,
shot
first
with
off,
them.
you're
Get out of
funny.
that.
You guys are funny. You guys are stand-up comedians.
Funny,
No woman is ever out of your
successful,
league.
Colored eyes.
Word. You mad pretty and shit?
Come on.
I am.
Mad pretty,
I
dog.
am.
You can't
I am.
man's pretty. You gotta talk about specific things on his body. So
Nah,
you
bro.
gotta
My
act.
lips,
You
fam.
gotta be
Mad
act
pretty.
like you're at the combine. You can't be like, this guy is a marvel. He is majestic. Look at him. You gotta be like, great biceps. I like the way you curled that up.
Nah, man. Listen, some dudes are just
Son,
gorgeous. Michael
that's
B.
the thing,
Jordan.
son. Now, Mike, yeah, but look, there's one thing that you're a little bit short. That's one thing that
That's a
fucks
problem,
you
dog.
up. That's
Tall
one thing
dudes
that fucks
just
you up.
get bitches. I did not know this.
Hey,
Son,
listen.
hey, it is what it is, dog.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna need your bitch. I'm gonna need your bitch.
Bring it
and
this
I'm gonna
way.
need your bitch. Need all y'all's bitches. I'm the lobster over here. Nah, but for real, height is a thing. Is a game changer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you can't overcome it.
Yeah.
Success, all that shit can overcome it.
Sure, look at Kevin Hart.
Kevin
He's a
Hart out here
motherfucker.
balling. He could get whatever.
This girl's like 6'1".
Facts.
Bad.
Right? And you prettier than Kevin.
Facts.
I
way
am
prettier than
Facts.
Kevin.
I am prettier than Kevin.
Pretty ass motherfucker. little pretty ass motherfucker over there. Lucky you on that side of the table.
This just got so gay, man.
Yo, you started it, son.
I did start
No,
it.
you can't start the white
I
boy
wanted
fun.
to
We
give
gonna be
him-
out here on the white boy
I want to
fun.
give him a compliment, God damn it. He was like,
Bro,
oh,
I
man.
just realized like what white people's M word is. It's gay jokes, bro. That's really what it. We're the only ones that could do it. Like, and so it's
Black
really
people get real
it's just-
uncomfortable.
Black people,
It's
man,
real
yo, what are you
uncomfortable,
saying,
son.
dog?
Relax,
Chill.
dog.
But white people, we can say that shit, bro.
You know what's a
That's
funny
ours.
Kevin Hart story though? He's doing. I saw him at New York Comedy Club. He's doing a set, right?
Right.
Just running jokes. This is like 6 months ago. He's still the most famous motherfucker on earth. His wife is standing next to me. She's gorgeous, sitting next to me, talking to her friend. Kev gets off stage, the most famous person in the world, and he walks over to me and his wife. Obviously, he's talking to his wife. He's like, "What'd you guys think of the? You're on your phone. Great, you're on your phone." And to see that happen to the most famous dude in the world was so like I felt so.
It's like,
just-
it's
yeah,
not just
like
me.
it's such a relief. It's not just me. No matter who the fuck you are, your girl don't give a fuck at a certain point. Just whatever, dog. Be famous. I'm
Maybe
talking
if she
here.
would have
She's
given
like,
a
I'm
fuck, he wouldn't be getting his dick sucked by Cubanas on the airplane. Get off your phone, shorty.
A legend.
Allegedly.
True that. Men don't
Allegedly.
cheat, son.
Black men don't cheat. Black
Hey,
men don't
all
cheat.
men don't cheat. Don't
Right,
be
right. All
stealing
men.
that.
Right. Whatever they said. All men.
We all in this together, bro. We in
yeah,
this
man.
together.
Nah, but shoot your shot, man. Always shoot out of your range. Pull up from Steph Curry
Son,
range at
pull
all
up from
times.
Steph Curry, go for. There's no
All
reason
times. Go for
not
broke,
to.
dog. I've been getting
There's
turned
no-
down my whole life.
Son, it's
Tippy toe.
It's like, yo. Just got a tippy toe.
son. I'm about to talk about it. If that's a different story.
You keep bringing up them side jokes. We
Oh
make it
shit!
We gonna make it a
Yeah.
topic.
Nah, I
one
think
day,
we
bro.
spoke about. We left that one in there. Yeah, when
You
Alex
did?
was on the fucking step trying to act taller than he was. Motherfucker had one foot
funny,
on the
dog.
step, bro. All I'm saying is shoot your shit, and ladies, shoot your shot too, man. Ain't gonna work, but you might as well shoot your shot.
Do you, bro?
Ladies, shoot it. I know we got some lady assholes out here. Go for gold.
I ain't gonna front, man.
Come on.
Like,
When
we've
you
been
get
getting like,
older-
do you guys ever like peruse through like the Flagrant 2 hashtag on Twitter?
Nah, not Twitter, because I'm off Twitter. But talk
Yeah.
to me.
I mean, like the lady assholes are like, they're like out there now. Like, I wouldn't say I would stop short of like of using the groupie word. It's not groupies. It's definitely not groupies.
Right,
But we
there's-
definitely
they're
have
supporting.
Must not see how pretty I am.
They definitely support us on
You
a
know we're
physical
gonna
level.
know we have.
Bro, it's
you know
'cause
we're
of my
gonna know
lips.
it's groupies.
If
That's
y'all
what
had
you said.
lips like me, if y'all had lips like me, where's my close up?
That's
Y'all had lips like me.
All right. It's
That's
a
when,
very,
that's when you're gonna know their groupie status when the girls are like, Andrew do got nice lips, or Kosh ain't that short. That's when you know it's groupie status.
Put my lips into your height category.
Oh, it's in
happening.
there.
Fam,
It's happening.
The only
dog.
difference is acceptance of the flaw.
first of all, ain't no flaw. This is how lips supposed to look. Okay?
bro.
This is how lips supposed
That's
to
not.
look.
They don't. She don't even look like lips. That look
Son,
like lip.
Your lips just start because of
Delicious.
your beard.
My lips look
Nah,
delicious.
your
man.
beard
Stop
gives you
it.
fake lips. It's
Stop
illusion.
it.
It's all illusion. If you take away the beard, you don't even have lips. That's
I
just
got
skin.
bangers, dog.
Nah.
My shit's
It's
bangers.
just because your teeth so big. You need some shit to cover your teeth.
Exactly.
Now you have that shit just out there
Think
like
about how big my
hippopotamus.
lips are that they cover these teeth. Just,
No, but it's
yeah.
cheating. It's cheating.
Oh my gosh.
My shit is
If
cheating,
it means
bro.
anything, I think you're both beautiful.
Yo,
If it means anything, if it's any solace.
all I'm trying to say is shoot your shot, ladies. Be great. Go out there, do what you need to do, fellas. Go out there, do what you need to do. Fuck rejection. Let's get rejected. I wanted to get
The
rejected
curve
today.
builds character, like I always say.
It really does build
The
character.
curve
I
builds
pussied
character.
out, but there's
Nah,
this
you said the
fine-ass
illest shit to me one time before I met my girl.
Yeah.
I was tripping over another girl who's whack. This one I didn't get to finish this when
Yeah.
before I brought this up.
What I say, sexually assault her?
No,
glad
no,
you didn't say
you
that.
wouldn't say that on the podcast. That would be a text message. Anyway, but you said to me, I'm gonna tell you something. The moment you are immune to rejection,
You're
you are
invincible.
unstoppable. You are
Yeah.
invincible. You're a superhero.
It's true, man.
The only thing stopping us is the fucking depression we get from being rejected. And once you're immune to that in anything, you are unstoppable.
Fucking so true. And
And
I
that's
gotta
a
live
bar
by that
dog
shit,
that I
man.
have not forgotten.
It's true, man.
That's true facts.
Yeah, we got to do it, man. We got to go out there and get rejected. I need to
That's the
practice
only
that
thing
more.
that men have to deal with. Like
rejection.
men have to deal with rejection way more than women. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
facts.
way more than women. Like,
I mean, women reject themselves.
Yeah.
Like they'll look at themselves in the mirror and think they're ugly. They think they're
Yeah.
not all this. We don't really notice
like,
those
oh,
things
I
as
need-
much.
I need surgery in this.
Exactly.
And I gotta wear makeup for that, and yada yada yada. Like they're already like in their own heads about
Yeah.
not
Like
feeling.
women out there doing
adequate.
lip injections.
I'm like,
I ain't mean that. Let me tell you something. Where's my close up? Where's my
you see
close
these
up?
eyelashes, bro?
Hey, okay, look at you.
You see these
dog.
eyelashes,
I
bro? This is a beautiful,
see
man.
you with it,
This is
bro.
a beautiful.
Okay.
Every girl I've ever dated has been like immensely jealous of my eyelashes. That's the one
it's so
thing.
funny.
They're like, why are your eyelashes so long? It's so pretty. I'm
And what
like,
about eyebrows? You know,
yeah.
eyebrows frame the face. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers are asking me how my face so goddamn pretty, maybe because of frame beautiful. I'm just looking right down the barrel.
Nice
We just
portrait.
going right down the barrel for this. What's up? What's up? Let me move the mic so you can see my lips. What's up? All right then. Okay.
Let
Okay.
them know. Let them know what time it is here. God damn it.
That's all I'm saying.
This is a really gay episode. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what-
I think it's
hey,
because the Oscars, bro.
Alex got a body though. Alex got a body
This is
though.
facts.
Alex do
This
got
is
a
facts.
body, son.
I don't think a lot of people. First of all, I think somebody tweeted. I thought Alex was white. Alex is not white. Alex is a black man that's in shape and single now, and he works out in the gym. all the time on his Instagram story.
He's trying to crack
So,
cheeks. Follow Alex
tell
Media, ALEXX Media.
Yeah.
And you can send him nudes. You can send him DMs.
Send Alex all the news. Matter of fact, that should be this week's challenge.
Yo, it's the Send Alex News Challenge.
Send Alex news.
Exactly. And then
Freshly
But
single.
only if you're dudes. Send him all dicks, fam. Mad dicks in his inbox. Just
only
dick,
balls and balls.
dick.
That's getting edited out.
Bro,
I'm editing that
Do
shit.
not edit that shit out. I don't give a fuck.
yeah, editing that shit out. We want to see the dicks that go in there, son. And they
I
better
swear
look
to
like
God.
safaris.
Anybody
Don't be sending no little dicks in there. We need
do
dicks
the
that are
safari
thick.
challenge?
We need thick dicks.
Oh my god.
Dicks that look like they go with my lips.
Hey,
Yo, son, there are guys who listen to this in the Uber.
They're like, finally!
They're Uber drivers, son. No, we got. Oh, what's up going on here? We got.
No, I unplugged it. It's good.
Oh, we got. There are guys that drive around, and they Uber with this in the car, and they say like the best part is just watching the people in the back react to us, son. And it's just hilarious, bro. Shouts to the guys.
Shouts
that
to
came
the
out
Uber
show,
drivers,
Columbus,
dog.
yo. Real talk. Give us some ratings.
bro.
Get some coffee in your fucking car.
we out here, bro. No
Huh.
sponsors.
I don't think we talked about any NBA today.
Yo, okay, we could salute one other bit of flagrancy.
James Harden?
Oh, okay, then two.
Okay.
Jimmy Buckets.
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Butler.
Jimmy Buckets, man. That's the dude.
Grown ass man.
That's how Drake should act. Like Jimmy
Buckets.
Butler. That's how I like my rappers to act. You don't want no smoke.
Bro,
Fucking
Jimmy
sing it in a
Butler.
melodic voice. My man tweeted that shit for real.
First
Yo,
off, he hasn't tweeted. The beauty of it
Yo.
is that he hasn't used his Twitter account in 2 years. He opened up his Twitter account just for the smoke with Jay Crowder. He's already injured.
First talk shit about Rubio. The Rubio tweet
He's like,
was
yeah,
really funny.
stay over there.
No, he goes, have you sort of, okay. Just to set this up. So basically what happened is the Timberwolves are playing the Jazz. Rubio locked Jeff, what's his name?
T?
Teague, yeah, locked
Teague,
Jeff Teague's ass the fuck up. Teague missed a shot. Rubio's on kind of like pushing the ball up, and then Teague just pushes his ass out of bounds. He was just upset that he got locked up. Let's keep it very real. So then Jimmy Butler goes on. He goes, haven't used Twitter in years. But yeah, Jeff, that's what I like to see. Rubio getting up quick for no reason. Now, that's my favorite part of the tweet. Rubio getting up quick for no reason. Have you ever had that shit where somebody pushes you or fouls you hard in the game?
And he got a man.
It's the quick get up, right? Yeah. It's like ninja.
That's when
quick
everybody
get-
starts trying to get in the way.
But that's
yada,
your
yada,
way
yada.
of telling everybody else, hey, stop me before I actually really got to fight. I just want all y'all to know I'm ready to fake fight. So if y'all
Right.
could just get in the way, that'd be great. Because if you really want to fight, my man, you get up slowly,
Yeah.
sneak around behind him, and just duff him in the
Yeah.
back of the head. But you want to cause a scene. So Jimmy called out perfectly. Then he said, then Jay Crowder apparently was talking to Thibodeau, right?
Yeah.
Which is Butler's coach, and he goes, Jay, get away from my coach. You don't want no smoke neither. Okay?
Small that part that a lot of people didn't really catch when they were reporting this. They were teammates at Marquette. In college, yeah. They were teammates at Marquette. So Jay Crowder's response was, I don't Twitter beef. I'll leave that to you. But you got my phone number and know my home address. If the rest can be history.
Or the rest can be
the rest
history.
can be history. Devil emoji.
The last sentence sounds
hands.
gay as fuck.
Yeah.
You got my phone number, know my home address. The rest can be history. Devil horn, devil horn.
Listen, those
Yeah.
last two emojis were crucial because if they were like hard eyes or something, they could have
Yeah,
been
oh, yeah,
it
taken
could have been
a
different.
completely different way. Like purple pickle, whatever the fuck is eggplant emoji.
Son, yo,
That's a
son.
Quavo thing.
Son.
Quavo called it a purple pickle.
What?
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop calling it an eggplant now because purple pickle sounded more funnier.
Oh, so I thought you really didn't know what an eggplant was, son. I was like, what? How Staten Island are you? They got vegetables
Nah,
out
this
there?
gentrified cash. Gentrified cash be knowing.
You know what about?
Go to
okay.
Whole Foods. Let me get a pound of purple pickles.
Purple pickles. All right, so real quick with Jimmy Butler. First of all, Jimmy Butler defending his coach is crazy. I think Jimmy Butler got Stockholm syndrome because his coach is the reason why he's injured in the first
That's what
place.
I was thinking.
Right? Like, if anything, you should want Jay Crowder, your ex-teammate in college, to knock Thibodeau out for taking away your knees. But he's like a battered wife. He's like a battered housewife. You know, like you still love the husband is beating you up or some shit like that.
Still got to defend him and shit.
So he's defending Tibbs, even though Tibbs is the sole responsibility while your knee gave out. You injured your knee on a non-contact play. That is the coach's fault. Am I wrong?
You sat down the All-Star game because you were tired and you needed that second half of the season to be rested.
Come on, son.
Because y'all were getting pushed so hard the first half of the
Come
season.
on, son.
Playing 43 minutes a game and
Come
shit.
on, son.
He's
Jay,
so dope, though.
Jay really trying to help you out. I mean, he's dope. Don't get me wrong. I love the attitude, but Jay was trying to help you out. Jay was trying to,
It's like Jimmy Butler's my man. It's like y'all got him running on fumes and shit and tearing
I want to
ligaments
make,
or whatever.
I don't know if there's 64, so maybe we can't do it, but like a March Madness style bracket of who the Flagrant fans think would win in fights.
Just
NBA fights.
Just NBA or all sports?
We could, all sports.
We
I
could
think
do-
football got and
advantage.
boxing and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think
we
should
should
just
probably
go
stick
NBA.
to one sport. Yeah, we should probably stick to
NBA
basketball.
fights. But 64 a lot, no?
That's
Why
what
don't we
64
do a
might be
Sweet
less. Maybe
16?
do 16 or
Yeah.
32.
Love it. Sweet 16.
Keep that same energy bracket.
Keep that same energy.
Like
bracket.
whoever wins is most likely
I'll
to
tell
have
you-
the same
I'll
energy.
tell you who might get a high seed and lose early is Kevin Durant.
Facts.
My man say talking about too many fake thugs in the NBA. All you ever do is chirp and get in faces. I never seen you shove nobody.
And then
that
what does the
burner
winner?
account.
What does the winner get? What does the winner get?
You get to send more dick pics to Alex.
We'll figure. You know what? We'll send you a fucking.
He will
like,
forward
flagrant-
you all his dick pics.
I'll pay for your flagrant T-shirt, Flagrant 2 T-shirt.
that's
or
what's up, some
something.
merch.
All right, good. We got some merch.
Send you
All
some
right.
merch or
We're gonna
something.
set that up. We're gonna set
Yeah.
this live show, John, up.
Yeah.
Or no, this live watch the March Madness shit.
Yeah.
Just pull up.
Just play hooky, man. You ain't gonna be doing no work that Thursday anyway.
Yeah.
Come to our spot. Well, I'll send the info out real soon, and we'll just fucking drink and watch games and talk shit. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, we'll just pretend like we know the players on the team.
Nah, we don't know shit, and you don't know it either, and you're not watching it for that anyway. You
Your
don't know.
bracket ain't gonna
you don't
do
know
shit.
the point guard from Liberty University. Like, you don't give a fuck, dog. Just,
That is true.
nobody gives a fuck. You know, maybe like 5 college players tops, and you just root for your school or schools that you know somebody that went to. Whatever, makes sense. But we'll make it happen, man.
Anything else?
I think that's
Loquitos.
shit, bro.
I wanted to just say thank you to everybody who came out to my shows in Columbus, in
Nice.
Ohio. All the Flagrant 2 fans out there. A lot of assholes
I like
out
that.
there keeping it tight, and I appreciate you so much, man. I did 6 shows out there. I think we had a total of 1,600 people come out, so that was incredible, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I had that kind of just support out there in Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to be in Miami this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Comedy Inn. Some tickets still available for that. And then I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, one night only for South by Southwest Film Festival. And I'm going to do a show at the Cap City Comedy Club. Some tickets still available for that. Make sure you get that. That's going to be the 13th. And then I'm going to be in Toledo, Ohio, later in March at I think it's a Funny Bone out there as well, man. So make sure you check that out. If you got some family in Ohio that live in the Toledo area and you're from Columbus, let them know I'm pulling up, man.
Yes, sir.
And then more dates are available at theandrewschultz.com. You can get the rest of my tour dates. More dates to come. We can get some European dates out there. Oh, and also I got a Canadian date. My first theater that I'm doing on the tour is going to be the Royal Cinema in Toronto, and that's going to be on the 15th of April, so make sure you get tickets for that. That was moving real quick.
Nice.
So yeah, there's the dates right there. Oh, thank you, Alex.
Yes,
I appreciate that. We should finish by talking about that James Harden crossover. But go continue.
Same thing as before. Caroline's March 30th. 2 shows. It's a Friday. I think you got that Friday off too. I think it's Good Friday. So come through to Caroline's. 2 shows, 7:30 and 10. The ABDC comedy show. It's myself as a few other South Asian comedians.
What's the date?
Got some special guests. March 30th. So come through. That's a Friday. You got time.
If I'm
You
in
got
town,
time,
I'm pulling
bro.
up.
I'm
yo.
pulling
Alright,
up
no
too,
doubt.
I'm
dude.
pulling up to support.
April 21st, Atlanta, Georgia. Palooza comes to the Masquerade from
Hey.
4 to 9.
Yeah.
21 and over. Get your tickets at DucePalooza.com. And we come back home to New York City May 19th at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Let's sell that bitch out.
Oh shit!
Yo, I'm coming through.
Yes, please
Oh,
come
yeah.
through.
If I'm in
Assholes
town,
coming
I'm
through
there,
tight.
yo.
And then, it's our first time doing Hammerstein Ballroom. We did Terminal 5 in December. And it's a venue I've always wanted to do. So I'm as a big wrestling fan, it's a big deal to me to go there at the Manhattan Center. So
I cannot explain how dope this fucking party is.
Wait, what day is it? Friday?
May 19th.
It's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is that only a few hours later, Hillsong will be having their church at the exact same venue. All right, so get all your sinning out.
You can just stay there the whole day.
Real talk.
As soon as it's done, just fall asleep, wake up, and you'll be right at church.
Catholic, they got a confession booth. Yep.
Sin, no, it's Christian, but sin your ass off at Untitled, fall asleep, pass out, stay there for Hillsong, and get reborn. What is it?
Get sanctified.
Sanctified or some shit. I don't know enough about. Whatever.
Yeah, big up to God and Jesus and
all that. Any other dates?
Those are the next 2 dates. No more dates as of yet, but we'll be announcing some soon.
All right, so let's talk about the most overhyped crossover in the history of crossovers.
Was it overhyped?
It was adorable.
It was cute. It was cute.
I went to the business
sassy
side.
look.
I know. He looked down at him, sucked his teeth probably. Like, ooh, you over there? You all the way over there? Look at you. Let me shoot this before you get
Even
up.
Wesley Johnson had to smile at it because it was so cute. He's like,
that was a good look.
Spun the ball and shit. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun, man. I thought it was nice and disrespectful. And it kind of sucks because it happened like literally hours after we told you guys to leave a bunch of finger manicure emojis under his picture.
We're still doing that, by
and
the
they're
way.
still doing it, which is great. It's like, you heard your cute ass game and shit. And the beautiful thing about this is, like with all James Harden highlights, it was immediately upstaged 24 hours later by LeBron James when
my God.
he went behind his back, split a double team, went through Tristan Thompson's legs, got the bump and the and one, which to me,
fucking believable.
if he means to do it or not, still way more impressive. It's more impressive that he didn't mean to do that, to me. Because once it's like, all right, like it was a little bit of push off, but it was still fun. The stare and the spin and the shot and all that, it was still fun. But just from a technical standpoint, like and it didn't get nearly as much hype as this did because of, it's social media. It's the generation of highlights and moments and shit like that.
Yeah.
But going behind the back, splitting a double team, going through your teammates' legs and your own legs.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Bro, it was unbelievable. I didn't even know what I watched.
Like, it was one of those things where, like, it was like the dunk contest where, like, it happened so fast in real time. It's like, oh, that was good. And then you saw the instant replay. You're like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. And that, I think that was the, that's the advantage that Harden's play had over LeBron's play, where it's like you needed an extra replay to really appreciate it. Whereas, like, what the like that doesn't even like how does it?
Dog, this is stupid.
It makes no sense. Like,
it's just stupid.
And it kind of gives LeBron, that's just kind of like James Harden's whole shtick, right? Like, we're all kind of waiting for something to happen. Like, even like Anthony Davis had like a week of good games.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's in the MVP conversation now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever really wants to, let James Harden live. And I think he's great. I think he's an amazing player. I think he's going to get MVP.
I think he's the best offensive player in the history of the game.
No, stop it.
I do.
Stop it. No.
I think he's the most complete. I don't mean the best. I think he's the best at passing, scoring, handling, etc. The one thing that you could say that he's not great at, and we just don't know yet, but is posting up.
I don't think. Here's my thing. I've seen too many Mike D'Antoni disciples to straight up give that to James Harden. You know what I mean? Like
nobody putting up numbers like this, dog.
I mean, like outside of like scoring, like Steve Nash was pretty much doing the same thing. It's just that he wasn't as big as strong as James Harden.
He wasn't rebounding.
No, he wasn't because he was like 6'2", soaking like $160 soaking wet.
Right.
But
But Steve Nash is one of the best players to play the game.
Oh, of course.
He's an elite
but
guy.
I've seen the D'Antoni system work for so many people. Like, it gave us Linsanity.
Sure.
He gave us Nash.
But Jeremy Lin was never a great passer. I mean, like,
James Harden
but James Harden is an elite passer. Passing is a skill you can't really learn. I really think you're either born with it or you're not. Like Lonzo has great vision.
Yeah.
He just has it. There's certain guys that just don't, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you can be a decent guy. You can get the ball where it is, but some people just have like a knack for it.
Facts.
And this, that fucking pass that he does where he splits the double team.
Yeah, the pocket pass.
Between his legs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this guy is an elite. Whatever. My point is, his game is cute as fuck, and that's my issue with it because he's so fucking talented and whatever.
He doesn't need to do the fucking pump fake draw free throw bullshit that he does all the time.
Anytime he continues to keep putting that fucking manicure emoji up.
Please do.
We love you guys for listening, man. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for fucking with us, assholes. Always keep it tight. Always throw it up, okay? When you see us in these streets, throw that fucking asshole up. Merch is available at flagrant2merch.com. Support us, buy that shit, wear it out, let other people know. Keep listening, spread the word, let your homies know. Let's make this a movement. Let's make it a real army. Let's take over some shit and just body everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's been another episode of Flagrant 2. Peace.
See you next week.